Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nerdsmith Presents Zodiac Superstars, a 4-part campaign playing Glitter Hearts, powered by the Apocalypse system, created by Greg Leatherman, about transforming magical heroes, which our lovely players will be today. Think of it like a Sailor Moon-inspired RPG. I am so heckin' excited about that. My name is Gabby. I use he, they pronouns, and I will be the game master for this lovely series. And before we go ahead and start introducing the players, I first want to go ahead and shout out a few sponsors. First things first, I want to shout out Die Hard Dice, home to the friendliest shopkeepers in the realm, carrying quality dice and accessories. Use the code NERDSMITH for 10% off your next order, and to be sure to let them know that we sent you. They have a lot of wonderful dice. I'm not biased at all. Up next, we have... Hold on, I'm going to move my script to a spot where I can more properly read. Hold on. There we go. Up next, we have Hero Forge. Hero Forge is an online character design application that lets users create and buy customized tabletop miniatures and statuettes, releasing exciting new features every Tuesday for their pro subscribers. Use the link in the chat to get your pro subscription and help support the network today. And of course, last but not least, World Anvil is a set of world-building tools that helps you create, organize, and store your world setting. If you'd like to check out all of that you can do with the Sage membership, check out the link in the chat. Nerdsmith itself actually has a world there called Veil. It's our own homebrew world that we use for quite a few of our shows like Shenanigans. It's a very fun thing. Now that we got the lovely sponsors out of the way, let's go ahead and let the lovely players go ahead and briefly introduce themselves, starting from the top.
Hi, I'm Jay. I use he and they pronouns. You may see me around like on Monday, maybe, perhaps. I'm playing Nicholas. You'll learn about him soon. And he uses he, him.
Hi, I'm Pandora Beatrix. I will be playing Casey tonight. We are both she, her, until things get weird, and then Casey will be she, them, but we'll get there.
Hi, I'm Reason Nelson, and I'm playing Luke Grayson tonight, the Weirdo.
I love that so much. Hello, my name is Sarah Jacqueline and I will be playing Katie Brown. We both use she, her, and just like Pandora said, when things get a bit weird, we'll be swapping to some they, thems.
I forgot Luke uses he, him, and I use he, him pronouns. Yay!
Yay!
Sorry, Gabby.
You're fine.
I realized as they were giving their pronouns last, I was like, oh, that's what I forgot to do.
You're good. It happens.
Good.
Well, players, I think we might as well just hop into it, right? Playing this wonderful game of Glitter Hearts. Just for folks at home, real quick, don't know, powered by the Apocalypse, which powers this particular game system, uses 2d6 and has all sorts of fun little features that we will be going through as we play the game. So it's going to be very, very exciting to see what the players bring to the table. First, let's start with a little narration. Nighttime is restless in the city of Star City. That was a little redundant, but doesn't matter. While the everyday business worker and families have gone to bed, the city comes to life once the sun sets over the Pacific Ocean. The neon signs illuminate the streets and faces of people walking the entertainment districts, advertising movies, local concerts, and the various popular restaurants and bars that invite fun. One set of lights, though, are being ignored completely by folks that don't seem to notice this source of light. It's a small glowing bubble that seems to aimlessly wander through the air as though carried by the ocean breeze. As it approaches the faces of various people, they seem to more swat it away as if it were some kind of annoying little bug, not aware of the bright shining light in their face. This little orb floats and stops at points, almost as if looking for something. It continues floating and floating until it reaches a more quiet part. Softly, there's sounds of, no, that can't be it. No, not there either. Ah, darn, I don't know what to expect. Until it stops and notices a poster. Scanning the image. That could work for now. And the scene fades. We then switch to a beautiful sunrise as morning comes to Star City, California, where our many, many residents reside here. People begin to awaken and ready themselves for the day of work, morning exercises, and school. But the city isn't the only place that begins to stir. We pan the camera just outside the city first. Many fine homes reside to a point nearby the city limits, but with a direct way to Star Observatory, a place of famous study known for its works in astrophysics and astronomy that really put Star City on the map before it was even founded. It is also a very known tourist spot and place for field trips for many students to come and drop by. We start by zooming in on one particular home, a very nice, large family home with a very generously spaced backyard. Katie, would you please tell me what it's like waking up in the morning at ungodly hours to get ready yourself for school?
Oh my gosh. In true Sound of Music fashion, when you wake up, wake up. It's healthy. Katie fully just, the alarm goes off and there's a moment of teenagerdom where there's just like, I wish I could sleep in. All I want to do is lie still. But then she thinks to herself, wait, if I go outside, then I can have fun. And that's what gets her out of bed. So she gets up. Her room is a mess. Let's be real. There are like jerseys. All of her jerseys are on the ground. There's like track pants over her desk where last night's forgotten homework that she did not touch is just lying there. And she's probably gonna forget to take it to school a little bit later. And she will sort of throw on the nearest pair of pants that smell okay, like open the closet, flick through a couple of things, be like, no, varsity jacket, that's it. Chuck that on, head down to have just a breakfast that's a little too loaded.
I love that. That's also way too real for me. So you get yourself ready. You hurry down the stairs where your mom, who's such an early riser given the work she usually does do, has already made a pretty good breakfast. A good chunk of it is gone because your younger sister, Haley, who is also a early riser, not being quite as athletic as you, but athletic enough. But she is currently sitting at breakfast, reading up whatever ungodly advanced book for her age she's reading. As you come down, your mom turns and goes, "Oh, well, good morning. There's still breakfast for you. Don't worry about that. Your dad hasn't come home just yet from his overnight work, so you can still have the good stuff."
Awesome. Katie's just gonna steal a piece of toast from her sister's plate and like just munch on it as she goes around the counter to like take her seat at her own plate that's like piled high.
Your sister Haley, who's about 14 or so, she's like, "Hey, that had the best pot of jam on it that I was able to put." "Really?"
"Yeah, really." And just start eating it.
Your mom just rolls her eyes.
You know, I'm a growing girl.
So am I. I'm more growing than you are.
Yeah, but like in the brain and not in the best way.
Oh boy, your mom, she's used to these antics at this point as she puts a new piece of toast that had just finished down for your sister, who grumbly replaces a new thing of jam on it. It's at this point, keep in mind, this is like maybe 7 a.m., maybe earlier than that, because American schools decide they want to start at an ungodly hour. Your dad actually finally comes through the door looking exhausted. You would know that your dad, who actually works at Star Observatory along with your mom, but sometimes their jobs require different kind of shifts. You know, your dad has loosely mentioned that he's actually been working on a special overnight study as he and his colleagues have been preparing for a very exciting event that he wanted to save the surprise on until he knew a little bit more. But he comes in tired, disheveled, because it was a very late shift. He's mostly wearing jeans, and I should have researched any teams beforehand, but probably his favorite Australian football team t-shirt, just to get himself through the night.
Make it the Broncos.
Okay, the Broncos it is, as he, I'm gonna pretend to know who they are. He comes in and just quietly, he goes, morning, night, no, morning, hi, and he grabs a cup of coffee that your mom had all set for him, and he just wordlessly goes upstairs to his and your mom's bedroom.
Katie will just watch him come in, give him a little wave. She probably doesn't see her dad as much as she would want to. So there's a bit of like a wanting to stand up and chat, but also I can't because he's tired and he needs that rest. So maybe I'll catch him later today.
Yeah, that coffee's probably going to last him 5 minutes before he passes out with how long he's been working and looking at screens the whole night. As he walks by, Haley also throws out, hi, you know about that weird, what is, pep rally? That's a thing they do in America? That's so weird. That thing is today? Why we have...
Yes!
So, why?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
It's just so weird taking an hour out of the day just to celebrate a sports team, and your mom interrupts like, I'll have you know, pep rallies were the highlight of Fridays for sports days because that meant I didn't have to do that boring English class back in the day. So you know what? Pep rallies are cool that way. Don't knock them till you try them, Haley. I know it's your first year as a freshman in high school, but trust me, you're gonna have a blast. Probably.
And you'll get an opportunity to really appreciate what actually matters in life, you know, like getting outside, being active, not being stuck inside, like reading books all the time, you know, the fun things in life.
Yeah, I'm good with my book. And she'll go back to reading that. Your mom goes, okay, how about we get in the car so we can get ready to take you both to school, okay?
Yogi dokie.
As you and your family walk out, your sister still knows in the book, and your mom doing the whole mom pat down of like, okay, keys, wallet, everything like that, as she also is going to be on her way to work, running back into the house to grab something. You actually notice, sitting on the curb in front of your house, an adorable little puppy. But it's so weird. The fur coloration is like a very dark, unusual blue. And you're not sure if it's because it's kind of cloudy in the morning just because of how close you are to the ocean with the city. But you could have sworn you see something sparkling in that dog's fur and eyes. And it just kind of looks at you. All cutesy, big, very bright blue eyes just looking in your direction.
Haley, do you know whose dog that is?
She briefly looks up from her book. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna go wait in the car. And she goes into the car.
There's a dog.
Yeah, nice try. Not gonna be distracted. She closes the door. And the dog kind of perks its ears up. Oh, well, that's an interesting revelation. You actually hear the dog say this.
It's talking to me.
I think you need to have your coffee. And the dog goes, all right. See you later. And you blink and it's gone.
Wait, what? She'll run down to the curb and like look left and right, and just do a kind of like double, triple take of the street.
I
to see
think
where it went.
Let's see. Ooh, this is gonna be our first roll. Let's make this. I guess we'll make this a glimpse the truth roll, since that's what it sounds like you're trying to do. Does that sound about right? Glimpse the truth.
Yeah. Plus my mental stat. Yeah.
Yep. So go ahead and roll me 2d6.
I'm so good at that. An 8.
An 8. Okay. So you can hold one, so you can ask any question, or you can save that question for later. So in Glimpse the Truth, there are a few options for you. There's what happened here recently, what's this about, what's the most dangerous thing here, a list like that.
We're gonna go like, basically, do I believe my own eyes? Like, did this actually just happen?
Interesting. You woke up, you ate, so you know that you're not hungry. You feel somewhat awake. Now you're pretty confident you saw what you saw.
Right. Like,
There
the
was a
whole drive to school, Katie is gonna be like looking for this dog.
And as your mom drives you and your sister to school, the camera follows the car and then actually starts to move a couple of streets away, as we find ourselves at another, not as big as your house, just with how big a family you have, but still a very nice home. Nicholas, could you go ahead and tell me what it's like for you waking up and your little morning routine?
I mean, probably not as I don't say scattered. I don't think his room is as big of a mess. He's fairly organized. He wakes up, and he gets dressed, gets all his stuff together before he goes downstairs. It's gonna be a pep rally today. He's gonna have to change,
which you've been very well aware of.
Yeah,
you know
so
that you can. You can easily get
for now.
Yeah,
because he's gonna have to change later. So this shorts and t-shirt, cool color block t-shirt. It's got like the sleeves are different colors and stuff.
Love that. You come downstairs and it's your dad who's sitting. It's a very simple breakfast. He didn't have the time to cook something grandiose, but there is good cereal, and he even had coffee that, if you drink coffee or not, you're more than welcome to. You would also know your mom. Both of your parents do also work at the observatory. Both of them are astrophysicists there, but your mom is one of the scientists who is also on this late overnight job along with Katie's father. So you know that she's also been kind of working on that, getting ready for whatever this big thing is that she also hasn't really said much about, because she also wants whatever it is to be a very big surprise for later down. She seems very excited about it though. Your dad has regular duties that he wanted to do just so your parents would have someone to watch you at least, or make sure you didn't die.
Fine.
But your dad sees you and goes, "Hey, morning, kiddo."
Morning.
Pep rally today.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, I did remember.
Yeah.
Today is that day. Excellent. Well, did you need a ride today, or you able to get your...
I can get myself there.
Great.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
brain's
it's
a bit scattered
fine.
today with your mom working the overnights and me. Anyway, yeah. Okay.
Hopefully you're less busy soon.
Yeah,
Stressful.
things should calm down soon after most likely after whatever your mom's big project is at the moment, honestly, because it's been hectic on the day shift as well, though not as hectic as her night. We're keeping an eye on some stuff. I should not be telling you as much as I am.
I'm not going to tell anybody.
I know, you're a good kid that way.
Yeah.
Crap. I need to get going. You can get to work, school, words. Take care of yourself, kid. And he's gonna, like, kind of ruffle your head. That's one of his many ways of affection for you, as he hurries the hell out the door so he will not be late for work with the traffic.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll eat my breakfast. I'll drink a little bit of coffee, but not too much. Go through my bag, make sure I have all of my stuff that I'm going to need, all of my work that I've actually done.
And then what is it like for you going to school? Do you get yourself there, or do you usually carpool with someone or someones?
I think Nicholas knows how to drive, but he might pick other people up just because they're on the way.
Yeah. So then I take it you walk out to your car.
Yeah.
And as you walk out, you also notice sitting in the driveway where your dad's car is usually parked, you see an adorable little puppy sitting there. Again, dark blue fur, twinkling of stardust or some kind of speckling of light on it. It's very bizarre. And of course, very big, bright blue eyes looking at you. Head cocked to the side curiously.
I look at the dog, and I kind of look up and down the street to see if there's someone, like, running after a dog that got off the leash or something.
You see a neighbor starting to walk down with one dog on a walk. And you know this dog, it's a dog that tends to be very excited when it sees other dogs. But when this neighbor and its dog walk past, there's no reaction from the dog. It just walks on. Neighbor gives a quick wave.
Yeah. I wave, and I will, I'm gonna approach the dog to sort of, like, try to get it off of the driveway.
Oh, you do see me. Oh, that's grand.
Huh?
Oh, don't worry about it. And he starts to walk towards one of the hedges of your lawn, just like it's just chilling, just like a very confident puppy walk.
Okay, I watch where it's going.
You see the bushes kind of shake and then stop.
Can I go over and look?
Yeah, go ahead and make me. This is probably going to be another glimpse the truth situation, since you're checking it out.
Mental. Well.
Not a lot of strong mental suitors in this game, if I remember.
It's not a negative.
It's not a negative.
It's not a negative. I did only roll a 5.
Oh, that is a critical failure. You do get an experience point though for rolling a 6 or less. So that's kind of a fun thing about this game, folks at home, is that when one of the players on their dice rolls a 6 or less, they get an experience point, which they can use for later down the road once they accrue enough. So rolling failures isn't always a bad thing. Let me see here. Oh, I just remembered what happens when you roll a 6 or lower for this one. So you go and look, and that puppy is gone. And there's something about that phenomenon that bothers you a little bit. Like there's something bigger going on that you're not 100% prepared for. And you're not sure what that's going to mean for yourself. But you're running out of time to make sure that you pick up the other people in time to make it to school with the morning traffic, so you probably don't have much time to think on that too hard.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess the people you carpool with are your best friend, Mila, and your boyfriend. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Mila and Noah. Yes, I remember the name. The three of you kind of get in. Noah pecks you on the cheek because he took first dibs and shotgun, much as he and Mila fought over the front seat.
Yeah.
Hey, what's wrong? He notices kind of something about your face. Something up?
No, it's fine. I'm alright. Just thinking.
Mila pops her head from the back seat between the front chairs. Okay, well, I love you so much. I really need you to keep your head in, though, because it's going to be really important for the routine that I don't fall with the, terror rays, please.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Love you. As she goes back into her proper seat, gets herself buckled, and you drive off. As you start to get closer to the city, we pan to another house in still a pretty nice area, though not as expensive as the other homes for those who work and work at the observatory and make those astrophysicist level of pay. But we do see a nice family home. Casey, would you like to go ahead and talk about yourself and your morning routine?
Yeah, so Casey immediately, as soon as she wakes up, rolls out of bed and grabs a pen, and then just starts writing a series of sort of cryptic things on Post-it notes that's from a little pad that's next to her, and just taking them off one at a time and just doing them, and it's a broken pencil and a green hair ribbon and a pom-pom and a sound of a bird hitting a window, and she's just writing all these things down as fast as she can, and then she sort of slows down and she's shrugs and then goes and gets dressed, puts her cafe apron in her backpack since she has to work after school, and then gets everything else in her backpack, and then she goes back to look at the Post-it notes, and she's dithers over them for a little bit, picks the pom-pom one immediately, and then a couple of other ones, sticks them in a little notebook that she then sticks in her bag, and puts the rest of the Post-it notes on a wall of her bedroom, which is just covered in Post-it notes with a bunch of these weird little cryptic reminders of dreams that she can't quite remember at the moment.
And remind me, do you have an ability that needs to be done at the beginning of session?
Nope,
No?
I trigger it, thus the Post-its.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I was remembering correctly. Yeah, because in this game, there are some skills and abilities that the characters can have that require at the beginning, or in this case, that they're little starter things, so that's why I wanted to just make sure. You go, I take it to the kitchen, get yourself something to eat. You make it there. You don't see your older sister. She's probably honestly still asleep because being a college student gave her, as she bragged a lot of that, the joy of being a college student is she didn't have to worry about having classes until noon. The problem is your sister has the habit of waking up until noon.
Yeah. She does a lot of late night stuff.
Yeah, she does. But you come in and you see your parents at the breakfast table. There's a pretty good breakfast right now that your dad decided to cook this morning, so pretty good, simple kind of breakfast. But you see your parents there. Your mom has a cup of coffee, dressed down as usual since she works from home mostly. Your dad dressed up in, the tie and such. That isn't going to last very long as he is going to have to put on a proper scrub. Actually, no, he would be wearing scrubs already because he is a dentist. Words. But they see and your dad hey, morning, kiddo.
Hi, Dad. Hi,
A lot
Mom.
of dads call their kids kiddos, apparently. They both go, hey, sweetie, more school, yay! I'm sure you love waking up this early in the morning.
Yay.
Your mom goes, do you need a ride to school? Because I technically don't need to start working until like 8.
I was just gonna take my bike, but if you want, you can.
Oh, if you want to take your bike, no problem. Oh, that's right, you have work today, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, I won't be able to get you until later, so probably taking your bike would be better, actually. How late do you work tonight? Not too late, right? The planetarium doesn't stay open for very long.
No, like I'm done at 9.
Okay. Well, we'll make sure one of us at least picks you up so you don't have to ride your bike home that late.
Yes, thank you.
Of course. Oh, you have time. You have time for some breakfast, right? I know it's not an easy ride.
Yeah, no, it's okay. And I can ride faster if I have a good breakfast.
There you go. And your dad's like, that's the spirit, as he puts a big helping of, not sure if you're vegan or vegetarian or anything like that. Nah, so he just puts a healthy dosage of eggs, bacon, toast, whatever else. Your standard American breakfast, folks. All right. You have your breakfast. Your dad gets ready to go. Your mom
And
stays
she will
home.
head out to the garage to grab her bike and bump the remote on the wall to open the door and head out.
Yeah. As you do, I'm just double checking that I say the name correctly because words are fun. There we go. You hear, Casey, wait up! As you see riding on his own bike behind you is Bernard, your classmate and your art friend. He goes, oh my god, my family would not stop pestering me about the project that we're working on. I told them that it's not ready yet.
Well, they're just, they just want to be involved in what you like doing, right?
I know, and I love that about them. I do, but when a piece of art is not ready, it means it's time to be perfected.
Well, finished would be good, but yes. I'm
Okay,
sure it'll be great when it's done.
Okay, I'll give you finished. I'll give you that. That I would prefer that. Yeah, we should probably get going.
Yeah. Remember, real artists ship.
And so you two start to ride your bikes. And as you're riding, oddly enough, a couple of times you could have sworn that you saw a puppy. Dark blue fur, occasional spark or blur of spark as you went past it, until eventually you can see it a little further up ahead from your bike path, kind of just sitting right in the middle of the bike lane that you and Bernard are going down. Bernard does not seem to acknowledge it in any way.
Like, in a way that he's gonna run over the puppy, or just...
In a way that maybe he's gonna zoom past it. He's not in its direct line of sight. It's more in front of your bike, if anything.
Okay. Well, Casey will stop then because, puppies should be appreciated, but also so as to not run it over.
Yeah.
She's not that great at steering her bike, so she doesn't want to swerve.
Yeah, and he doesn't notice, so he goes past you, right past the puppy, and then he stops when he notices that you're not coming with, and he goes, you coming? What's up? All right, your bike on the foot?
No, there's a puppy. I was just gonna say hi and maybe pet it, and...
What puppy?
The bluish puppy?
And he looks, oh, you mean for the animal shelter poster? Oh my god, I know, it's so freaking cute. Can you believe that we're actually gonna get to see some puppies today at school? It's so great!
I didn't know that, but that's good. But no, I meant the puppy on the ground.
Oh, grand. I thought he was actually gonna hit me for some reason, but I'm so glad that he just barely missed me. Hi there! I'm gonna take you staring at me like that as a good sign.
Sure. Okay.
All right. Well, that's three so far, so that's grand. Well, see you later. And hops onto the curb and runs into an alleyway and seems to disappear behind a dumpster that does not lead into any door just right where it is.
Oh, that was weird.
Okay.
I was
y'all-
probably seeing things, Bernard. It's okay.
Well, if you ever want to incorporate a cute puppy into our comic, I am not opposed to that. We should probably get to school.
I mean, sure. Blue dogs aren't like a California thing, right? Or an Australia thing? I know there's that cartoon.
There's
Also, Blue's Clues. Are there actual blue dogs?
I only know of Blue's Clues. Like, and there are dogs that are just the right gray to be considered blue,
Well,
right?
There's like the cats that are like, they're called Russian blue, but they're just gray. I don't know why they call them blue.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't know.
but no, I don't know. I just wasn't sure
Okay.
if this was something I wasn't aware of yet. But okay.
We
it's
can have
fine.
a blue puppy in the comic. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean-
that's a cool idea. I can incorporate that.
Well, yes, obviously. If you're going to put a puppy in a comic, you want it to be a weird color because people will notice the puppy more.
Exactly. All right, and you and Bernard keep riding your bikes, and as you ride along your bikes, the camera kind of follows and then does a quick swipe, going into the city itself, where we find ourselves kind of looking at a cafe sort of looking spot, but a couple of stories, as it's part of many businesses, most likely, called, I want to make sure I have the name correct, Brooding Stars Cafe. Is that? Yes. The Brooding Stars Cafe. And the camera looks from this very cute kind of sign that seems to have kind of like a cauldron mug with a couple of stars kind of surrounding the name, as the camera moves up to a bedroom window. Luke, go ahead and talk about what waking up for you is like and your morning routine.
So Luke wasn't sleeping last night, and he's been making like occult, come to the occult club flyers, because he has now been cast as the last member of the occult club to reach out back into the school populace, much to his chagrin. So he's still wearing yesterday's goth clothes. He's sitting at his desk. He's finished the layout and he's been printing them all night. And he's like popped out of his room to help with the cafe. He's heard Amity go down to start baking pastries and stuff for the cafe. So like he knows there's no sleep today. There's no sleep. It's not coming. All right, great, cool. Tonight I will crash the hardest. I plan to take a nap in the occult club.
And your Aunt Amity, who does the early morning baking and such, she would have told you to, get ready for school first, and don't worry too much about helping early in the morning, given that the cafe kind of opens around the time you usually need to leave for school, so that your aunts are always insistent that you make sure you are ready for school before anything.
So he's been so anxious over the night, so he's hacked his bag, he's double checked it, he's done a bunch of research on esoteric occult cool facts that he can bring up during occult club, especially if he can get some new people in. So we get like this glance around Luke's room, and it's not all goth. Like, he's goth, but his room is in like covered in like this green foresty kind of comfort. He has like a wall, clearly it's an accent wall that his aunts put there that's like this burnt orange that's very soothing to look at. His bedding and stuff is all dark forest kind of green, like this room looks like it doesn't belong to him. He doesn't have posters up on the wall. He has a bookshelf. Everything in here is extremely tidy. And we're talking military tidy. Everything's in its place. Everything has a place. There's a little bit of a mess on the desk that he would call a mess, but it's like two books that aren't perfectly stacked on top of each other. kind of a mess, right? Like there's a couple of papers.
I get you, yeah.
Yeah. So he goes down, and because he was so anxious and couldn't sleep last night, he's actually taking care of all the prep work for Amity this morning. So like all the cups are restocked, all the lids are restocked, the beans for all the coffee stuff is in its place, and everything's been cleaned up probably more than it should have been. And I'm sure she yelled up at him, "Thank you."
Very much
At
of
some
like,
point.
you didn't need to, but thank you.
I couldn't sleep.
That's not good. And you go back to the apartment. What's nice about where you live is that you always get to smell fresh baked goods going on. So does your Aunt Luz, who has woken up. She starts a little later than Amity, but still early enough before any of the other employees arrive. And she has made just a really simple, like pancakes, really. Luz always loves to make pancakes for breakfast, so this time it's more of a blueberry chocolate chip kind of combo that she decided to play with, since she claims that's not something people do a lot and we might as well do it. Hey, morning!
Morning, Aunt Luz.
Hey, okay, got breakfast. You can get yourself to school. Yes?
Yeah, I got the Vespa.
Great, excellent, wonderful. I feel like I'm forgetting everything that I'm supposed to. Amity is downstairs. Crap. Okay, you have breakfast. Get yourself to school in time. You don't look like you've slept much. You know what? We're gonna talk about that later. You have artistic interests, and you know what? That is wonderful about you. Okay, I'm gonna go downstairs now. Love you.
Love you. He looks down at the plate. It's just an owl head of like
a lot of
pancakes.
owl memorabilia around your
Yeah.
house. Your Aunt Luz very much enjoys them.
So when you look upstairs here in the living space, there's lots of weird owl tchotchke stuff all over the place. Some of it is like very tasteful, and others is like
Just
googly
really
eye
weird.
big.
Yeah, just really weird.
Like,
Here-
and the door leading into the apartment also has like this weird owl face on the
Yeah.
front of it. That's just really disturbing.
Disconcerting for those who don't expect it.
Very disconcerting. And so we watch that door close behind him. He's eating breakfast, and he's out of here. He's getting onto his green Vespa. It doesn't go fast enough to like be a car or anything, but it's faster than a bicycle, and it's faster than walking. And he doesn't need a driver's license for it.
Yeah.
He can technically take the bike lane.
As you exit the cafe, make sure you lock it behind you so no wayward customers get in. You actually notice sitting on the seat of your Vespa is a little dark blue furred puppy with some sparkles on it, just kind of looking at you, head cocked to the side curiously.
Okay. He looks like back into like the cafe, see if he can like catch its like image on the window.
Oh yeah, it's there. It's actually should be in full view of your aunts at the moment, who are very close by, wiping down some tables, setting down chairs.
There's the occasional like hug kiss thing going on. And
Yeah,
and the
literally, your Aunt
Amity
Luz
transparent.
goes to one of the tables to take down the chairs, looks at you, waves, and her line of vision clearly goes to where the puppy is, but she doesn't seem to have a reaction.
Okay. So like I go to like pet it. I don't say anything. I just go to pet it.
It hops off your Vespa and it's like, okay, good. That is 4 for 4. Excellent. Thank you so much. I know it's a little shocking, but everything will make sense later. So too.
No, wait.
And
I
it
can talk.
It actually scurries around the corner of the cafe.
So like he initially chases it around the corner.
It is gone when you go around the corner. And it is a pretty straight shoot for a bit.
Yeah, it's just there's nothing back there. That this is an omen. It is a good sign. Today's gonna be a great day. The stars have aligned.
Hey.
Everything's coming up, Lucas.
Love that confidence for him.
And then he gets on his bike and he double checks his backpack one more time.
No puppies in there.
The puppies. Got all of his stuff. Time to suck it up and see if I can't recruit new members. Zip. Throws it on his back and he's down the road.
And you're on your way. And finally, the camera pans to Star City High School, one of the prominent, kind of bigger known names. Many high schools can be pretty well known amongst people in a populace. Star City is one of the biggest. You would all know that Star City High School, much like a lot of locations here, was named after the person who really put the city on the map for America, Isabel Starr, a very famous astronomer by today's standards. Not so much back then, but the school is like a standard Southern California kind of mixed high school campus where it's got a lot of open areas for students to hang out in an open area quad with some little grassy spots, benches, and other various spots for students to mill about before school starts. It's very easy. Nicholas, you park in the student parking for you and your Mila and Noah to hop out of. Katie, your mom drops you and your sister off in the usual student drop-off zone. And Casey and Luke, you both find the various spots to safely put a bike or a Vespa within the school grounds when this campus gets locked up, so that way it doesn't get stolen. And
got my janitor friend.
And you start to mill about, get yourself ready for school. You actually do see Casey, what Brayden, no? What was his name?
Bernard?
Words are easy. Names are easy. Bernard was correct in that it looks like there was a shelter who decided to come here early for students to meet and greet some adorable puppies for puppy therapy. So there's a couple of really cute spots and also a small advertisement for the Humane Society in which they're from to encourage, students to maybe sneakily tell their parents to go adopt a family pet. And this is in a very easy spot where I'm gonna guess all four of you probably wait to mill about before classes start because most of your teachers aren't always ready for students to come before the first school bell rings, and all four of you can see the very cute various little kind of those puppy gates that get put up for kind of open events like that for dogs and such. That's what they all kind of see. And all four of you are the only ones who seem to acknowledge that one puppy is not within the confines of that. A puppy that you saw on your way to school, leaving your homes. A small, dark blue furred puppy with some sparkles. And you actually take a moment to notice that the type of puppy it is actually matches the poster for the Humane Society of a little whippet puppy. You would recognize the breed as finally. And it's kind of just sitting there, just kind of looking like it's waiting and looking for something. Again, no one seems to notice, not the Humane Society workers, no teachers, no staff, not even the students notice this adorable little puppy just sitting in the middle of the quad.
I want to sneak up behind it. I'm gonna pet this.
We all unknowingly approach from like 4 compass points.
The 4 corners of the quad.
Katie, your sister Haley has already ditched you to hang out at the library before school. Bernard wanted to go get something from his locker a ways away from the locker, and Mila and Noah had to make a head start to get something for themselves. So the 3 of you at least see this one goth kid start to make his way. Some of you know him as Luke Grayson, making his way towards the puppy, and you're trying to sneak to pet this puppy.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He's like, he's in full sneak mode. Solid sneaking this.
Trying to think of what a good rule for that might be. Probably would be a be vigilant role, since you're trying to make sure you don't alert this puppy that you're trying to pet it.
Right. Okay. So vigilant plus.
So it's going to be 2d6 plus your mental stat.
Oh, cool. -1.
Oh no!
The -1. Got it. He's just too excited, probably.
Mhm.
Although he rolled pretty well. That's 2 4s.
All right. So what is that? What is that
So that's
total
8.
with your skill?
Oh, 7.
Yeah, because it's always your skill that's going to be
Yeah,
incorporated
and
with
then
the roll. All right, so it's a 7. Okay, so it's a hold 1. So you can go ahead and ask, figure out a question that's on the list. So, like, what's your best way in, way out? Let's see here. Maybe trying to determine the puppy's weakness for the best angle to sneak and pet it. Does that sound like?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's looking at like the best angle to like approach him without being seen.
You start walking. It's kind of an average roll, so there is going to be a slight side effect where some students are kind of looking at you, cautiously walking towards the middle of the quad towards nothing. But the rest of the 3 of you see him going towards this puppy.
Yeah, Casey was just gonna walk up like a normal person, but then she saw this and she just sort of stopped to watch, because like you don't often see somebody trying to sneak up on a puppy, and it might be interesting, especially this puppy.
So like he's also talking to himself a little bit, like.
Can't hear you. What you're saying, Resin. Reason.
Oh, so he's whispering. He's just like, it's a real. Touch it. It's gonna be a real cosmic dog. Cosmic, powerful dog.
Oh my goodness.
Real. Can't. Oh, I just need to touch it.
Katie and Nicholas, what are you 2 doing as this is happening before we continue?
I mean, I was gonna walk in that direction. I don't know if I was gonna walk directly up to the dog, but I'm walking in that direction to get closer to look. Head full of thoughts.
So you're just still walking towards it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I want to do is, Luke is sneaking.
Yeah,
I'm gonna like do like a slightly faster sneak behind Luke and like do that kind of comedic like over the shoulder and be like, you see it too, right? Just like in your ear a little too close.
You both kind of startle each other.
And because he was crouched, that causes him to like topple like a foot away from the dog. No, the dog. Ah.
Katie does like a bit of a hop over the top of you to dodge.
Not good. Not.
It's like an awkward tumble.
You know what? Hold on. Give me a thwart peril roll, so that way you avoid getting tripped over. So Katie, roll me thwart peril, so that way you don't get tripped.
Plus physical. Ooh. That's just a 7.
It's a 7. Okay.
That's good.
Okay. So On a 7 to 9, I can either give you a worse outcome, a hard choice, or an extra price to pay. So let's see here. Okay. So I'll say that you will be able to avoid Luke, but in doing so, the sound you make is going to be loud enough to garner the attention of many of your fellow students that are walking around. So when Luke startles and falls backwards, you go ah! Very loudly with a strong set of lungs as you jump right over him, and many students stop and look at you weird, including one of them being Rayla, the coach, the captain of the school soccer team that you're on, and they just look at you like.
B! Casey yells and points at nothing.
Roll me convince someone. Roll me a convince someone, Casey.
Yeah, emotional. That's not bad for her. Okay.
Okay.
Oh no. I need a better place to roll dice. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. So she's got a 13.
Oh crap. Okay. That's a critical success. So you say that, and everyone immediately is like, "Oh crap! Ah!" And they start to move so that way. Like any that were near Katie and Luke immediately start to move back just in case, because no one wants to be getting stung this morning. And that actually seemed to have been a bigger distraction away from what happened to Katie and Luke. But all this excitement that happens around, the puppy is just kind of staring at you two, Luke and Katie, and goes, "Oh!" Kind of looks around, sees the other two. "Oh, grand! This will be much easier." And suddenly, there's this bright flash of light that seems to emanate from this dog. And Luke and Katie, you two kind of feel this surge of something that suddenly hits you right in the chest, and kind of you feel, you're not sure. Katie, for you, it feels like this electrifying pulse that just pulses yourself through your body. For Luke, for the briefest of moments, you could have felt something akin to fear, but it's a fear that does not, make you uncomfortable. It's a fear that part of you fully embraces. Eventually, this light, seeming to almost act like a wave of sorts, hits Casey and you, Nicholas. Casey, you feel this kind of surging of hopefulness, like everything is going to be fine and you can help garner things will be okay. And for Nicholas, you feel like steel. You feel hardened and energetic and like you could do a lot. And as quickly as it comes, it goes away, these sensations and the light, as this puppy is just sitting there wagging its tail. "All right, grand, got that done. Follow me." And it starts to walk off to the side somewhere.
Follow you.
Running after this dog.
Yeah, Casey will sort of sigh and then shrug and then begin to follow the dog uncritically.
I guess Luke is gonna like glance around. Are people staring at this?
She started shaking
Nope.
her head.
I was gonna hold my hand out to help Lucas up before taking off after everybody else. But
yeah, he'll take your hand. Thank you. Getting your name, sorry.
Nicholas.
Nick. Got it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, I mean,
following.
Is it fine? He follows.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. I mean, if you prefer Nicholas, I'd rather call you what you want to be called. I mean, Nick's just short. I could also call you Nichan.
I don't like that one. I'm going to follow the dog. We should do that. I'm gonna start following the dog.
So you follow the dog, each of you.
Yeah.
And it kind of leads you all to the part of the school where sometimes students hang out and sit on the ground and kind of leaning against the walls, but there's none of that here. And this puppy walks a little deeper a bit and then plops down and sits in front of all four of you. Its little tail just wagging and going crazy as it stares up and waits for all four of you to get closer to it.
Katie's just gonna run up and like immediately go into a crouch before this dog and be like, "What is your name?
Ah, it's very loud.
Who are you, small dog? You're so cute, and like you've been following me all morning, and it's so weird that you're here."
Not all morning. All I was
Are
doing
you
was
a
saying.
cosmic entity? Do you come from
yes.
space?
I mean,
Are you
yes.
part of an occult?
What?
Cults and
Okay.
and the
Okay,
occult.
I think we got to start a little more properly.
Wait, are you?
There's not enough candles for a cult, kid.
Mythos?
Okay. And this dog, as it starts to walk, almost looks like it's now walking in air, like it's going up some steps until it's more at eye level with you all and sits middle of the air. All right, let's start from the beginning. Hello, good morning. My name is Mira. For those of you who want to take notes, Maera. The name is Mira, and yes, technically am a cosmic entity. More specifically though, I am one of the many constellations. You might know me as what was it called? Canis Minor is what I'm typically known as by you human standards. But Mira is my name.
If you're Canis Minor, does that mean there's a Canis Major?
There is actually. Part of why I'm here actually is because he went missing, and I've been trying to find him for a little bit. And last time I knew his position was here in what is this place called again? Star City. That's it. Oh, but that was more than 20 years ago, so I'm not quite sure where he is at the moment.
Well,
Wait, 20 years, right? I have the right. No, that sounds about right.
I'm the wrong person to ask. What is?
yeah, I wasn't here 20 years ago. I wasn't
I just
anywhere
moved
20
here
years ago.
4 years ago. Three years ago.
Oh, you're just parents. Oh, that's adorable. All right, you had a question. Looking to you, Casey.
Oh, so the thing that happened when there was a bunch of light, and then I felt a thing, and other people, it seemed like felt a thing, but I couldn't tell. Is that just a thing that happens with you, or did you do that on purpose? Could you, maybe what's going on there? Because...
All right. So, okay, I probably jumped the comment there on just doing that without a proper introduction. So, congratulations, you four, since you four seem to have some sort of connection that allowed you to see me. Congratulations, you're the next Zodiac, or at least the next 4 Zodiac.
Wait.
What does that mean?
What?
He
that has
kind
a
of
capital letter, I can hear it.
he kind of, you know how a dog will sometimes slam its paw, like smash its paw down when it wants something? It does that, and suddenly, before your chest, a brief glow, you see these symbols come across you. Luke, you would actually recognize these since they're part of you, in the occult club. You recognize these as Zodiac, astrology. I always get those two mixed up whenever I'm writing stuff. As astrology symbols. For Katie, you see the symbol of Gemini. For Nicholas, you see what looks to be Leo. Casey seems to have the Libra symbol, and you, Pisces. And they're just quick flashes that quickly disappear. But that's what you immediately clock when looking amongst them, Luke.
So he's gonna like lift up his shirt, just be like,
No, that's right in the chest, right in the heart. Not in a bad way. Okay, I'm going really badly. All right, so how to explain this in a way that's not going to completely terrify young bairns? All right, so I do come from the stars, and I am here looking for my friend. Leilapis is his name. He is Canis Major. He disappeared some 20 odd years ago, trying to help kind of fend off an entity that, you know, is kind of a pain, depending on, well, a pain for Star entities, probably most likely world ending for you.
Yeah, I was waiting for that part. Okay.
And I am quite literal when I say world ending, or at least world controlling. I'm not quite sure what its plans is. Anyway, haha, I know this is very sudden, very confusing, but I promise it will make sense sometime in the future. I know this is a lot to throw at you, but there is an entity that threatens your world, and it seems to have something focused here in Star City. Unfortunately, I don't know all the details because Leilapis knew a lot more because he was a lot more involved in this situation. When he didn't come back for a long time, that's when I started to do some light investigation of what he told me and coming down here. The entity is known as Eclipse. I don't remember how long it's been here on Earth, but it's looking for something. Something Leilapis never told me what it was, but it's something here in Star City. And last time, Leilapis had the help of some heroes, some Zodiac heroes. And so I thought I would do the same. And look at that! You four were the only ones who had been able to see me, and voila! Congratulations! And you see a quick puff of stars come out from his fur as like celebratory confetti.
Thank you.
So hold on. I'm wrapping my head around this. It's like Katie is like applauding. More like a slow clap. I'm just like, okay. So you're telling me that like 20 years ago there were like other people like us. Oh hey Nick, other people like us, who got the fancy thing and like did some stuff?
From what I know, I wasn't exactly here that long ago. It could have been more like 30 or 100. I don't exactly remember the exact number, but it wasn't. It was before the turn of the millennia. It was just after the turn of the millennia. I know that. It's just after the turn of this millennia that Leilapis came down.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi. Yeah. 20 would be right.
All right.
Is it? What year are we doing right now, actually?
2024. Yes.
Okay.
Hi, folks. I totally forgot to say what year it was. It is 2024 in this. It's a slightly skewed alternate universe. Otherwise, I wouldn't be basing this in a city called Star City that does not exist in California, as far as I know. So, yeah.
2 Sigma left. Gotcha.
You'd think that I would remember to say that at the beginning.
Very fair.
I got the location right.
I mean, intros, location, basic information. I think you nailed everything else. I mean, minor details.
That's all you need, GMs. Anyway, but yeah, that basically sounds about right. I
have a bunch of questions. I'm not sure which is more important. I'm gonna ask this one first because maybe it's bad news and get you bad news out first. So the people who used to be Zodiacs, are they still Zodiacs, or are we instead of them now? And
I'm not gonna lie to you. I have no clue. Again, I wasn't here that long ago. I only knew what Leilapis was looking into. I didn't exactly know who he was watching over and who he was guiding. I'm kind of flying by the seat of my tail here.
We could look it up at the library. Wait, better, we can go to the computer room and look it up through the library's internet access. Wait, better, I have information in the occult club. And he like just turns around and starts
Question,
sleeping.
What's a computer and what's an occult club?
Fine.
Follow me.
Those are both complicated questions for different reasons.
Luke, as you say, follow me. Unfortunately, it is at that time when the first bell for the first period classes start to ring, and students start to mill and get ready to go to class.
Trick.
Mayra looks around like, "What on earth was that? I so loud? Why are they so loud?
So everybody can hear it because we have to go to class.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
we're out
Oh,
of
that's
time.
right. Bairns, youths. That's right. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Well, I'll come with you. It's not like anybody else can see me.
You know, the occult club's on the way. I can at least leave you there.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds fantastic. Let's go.
It's part of the library. It's a sub-annex.
All right.
Like you,
Do you want to be in my backpack? There's only lunch in here.
Ooh.
Don't eat it. That's mine.
Oh. But
We'll
it
give
decides
you
to hop in
something
your
up.
backpack since it's nice and spacious. Kind of just pops its
Only-
head just out, and you could feel a head thumping on your back, Katie.
You only brought your lunch. Do you happen to have your paper
Pencil.
sent to yourself to print out again? Or never mind.
Hold on. Did we?
I
did
have
we
to go to the other
homework
side of this.
today?
You probably. Yeah. I have to go.
Oh,
Or,
get on my desk.
seeing you, Chan.
start take off to go. I'm assuming we're not going all to the same class immediately.
I would assume not. I assume some of you have different classes. I would assume for first period. Some of you might share a class, but I am going to assume it's mostly different. But I think with that, with all of you starting to mill about with your fellow schoolmates, getting ready for your first period class of the day, I think we're going to go ahead and take this opportunity to take a break. So we're going to take about maybe 10-15 minute break, and when we come back, there's going to be some more fun stuff for our new kind of heroes, maybe learning about it to figure out. So we will see you folks in a bit. See you soon. And welcome back, folks. We're gonna jump back here for Zodiac Superstars. Where we last left off, just as a quick little interlude reminder, is that our 14 maybe heroes, they're still figuring that out as they're kind of in an in-between stage, suddenly received some kind of flash of light from this small Scottish adult sounding puppy, introducing himself as Mira. And before really you all could fully process everything and can do research on whatever was going on, the school bell has rung, indicating students get ready for first period. So my question to all of you is, what first period class do you all have? What is the class that either makes or breaks the start of your school day?
Math.
Yeah. He's in Trig. Straight first thing in the morning, Trig.
As always.
And he hasn't slept. He's ready. I think there's a pop quiz today.
man.
Oh, crap. It's like the things
I
he's
was gonna
saying on the way.
I was gonna say, poor old Katie's got to go to English where she's forgotten her homework.
Yeah. Science feels like a morning class to me. Maybe it just took it.
Sure.
Coincidentally got it a lot. Yeah.
Okay. My question then for Casey and Luke, because you both said that you have a math class. There's not a lot of junior math classes. Do you think you two would have taken maybe the same level of math or different levels?
You in Trig with me this morning?
Yeah, I mean, Casey's flat mental, so she would just be taking, you know, what the next thing was. Math is technically more straightforward than other science electives that she might have to take, so she's just
Sure.
path of least resistance.
Okay, so you two would probably end up in the same math class then. And oh, excellent. The party is split. I love this. What? No?
I can go to science. It can be science homework.
Like,
No,
we
if
did
you-
this to you.
Yeah. If you think English class is your first class, then there we go. All right.
I might just go to science to avoid English.
You just crash the class.
Be like, Nick, save me.
You know what? I want to kind of have you roll for this to see if you like. Would that be something you would actually do? Is try to cut your English class and sneak into a different class? Is that what I'm hearing? Is that something that Katie would actually
It
consider
would
doing?
be. She knows that Nick is someone that she can rely on because they know each other from doing sports stuff, and so it would be less about trying to skip English and more about trying to get Nick to help her with her homework that she's forgotten. So she's like, "Do you have a copy?" So they're just following Nick to his science class to try and swindle some stuff off of him so that she can go
Alright.
back to English.
It sounds like the thought of leaving behind your homework and stress wanting to try to move. I want you to make me because it sounds like you're kind of stressed out at the moment. I want you to make me a keep your wits about you roll to make sure that you don't totally freak out from the little stressor that you're dealing with at the moment.
That was not a good roll.
What
It's
did
a
you
5 on the die, but I got a 6.
That is still, unfortunately, a failure.
Failure!
You do get an experience point, though, so take 1
Yeah.
XP for failing. Oh, boy. Okay.
Mark that down.
So, you are suddenly so mentally stressed out about leaving your homework behind, not having any way to find an excuse or thinking of an excuse to your teacher as to why you don't have your homework and why you only have a lunch bag that only you know has also an astral puppy inside of it. And you have to make sure that you can sneak by your English class where the teacher usually keeps the door wide open before class starts. That way you don't get caught. And you got to make sure that the teacher that, Nick is going to have a class with doesn't catch you cutting class and hoping that there would be enough, desks available for you. You kind of start having a moment of like spacing out, disconnecting of like, and you're kind of just, Nicholas, you see Katie is just standing there kind of wide-eyed of like, what do I do? Actually, you know what? I think that might, no, I'm not going to be that just yet. We won't do that. It's fine. But yeah, Nicholas, you do see Katie like that.
Nick, you gotta help me, man. Do you have the English homework? And can I borrow it and copy it? And I'll get it back to you later. But it's just gonna be like this one time. Like, I don't usually do this. I don't usually do this, except for that one time, like a while ago. But it's okay, because this is like that. It's not like that time, because this time is different because there's a puppy in my bag.
I mean,
You gotta help
accurate.
me, man. She's just like holding his arm, just like, Nick, you're not going anywhere. You have to help me.
Meter kind of pops up from behind Katie's shoulder, looking between her and you, like, is she all right?
Well, so
Should have taken it to the occult club.
let's see. I mean, I'm gonna go through my bag. You have to change some of the answers. You have to rewrite some of this anyway. It's gonna.
Look, it's fine. I can do that. I'm smart enough to do that. It's okay. I just can't keep getting like letters home for stuff that I forget, because then my mom will start asking me to clean my room, right? And I don't want to have to do that. It's just a lot of work.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I will.
Rubby hands.
Yeah, I'll let her copy my homework.
Okay, you don't have a lot of time until you have to get class. How fast you are? Right? Okay. You just hear, "Oh, this is a very bumpy ride."
An athletics roll just to like get there. Athletics roll for speed scribbling.
Oh, good.
That's
Lord.
a 10.
Sure. You know what? Sure. I'll say you're able to just barely make enough differences. Okay. You probably rush past Casey and Luke as you two are heading into class, and you hear Mila go, ah, 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 ah.
Sorry.
Occult club, next period.
Sure. Already halfway down the hall.
Cat Chan getting in trouble.
Gotcha. I'm kidding. Oh my goodness. All right. So each of you get to your classes, some of you just barely. And as all of you go ahead and sit down, you hear, with a slight feedback, the overhead speakers turn on for the morning announcements. And you hear, where did I put my notes? I have so many tabs open. I'm trying to remember my notes. One moment. Got it. All right. As the overhead speaker turns on, you hear the familiar voice of your school principal, Principal Aguilar, as she goes, as I get my voice ready for this. Good morning, Star City High School. Happy Friday to you all. She is overly peppy for this kind of a morning for some of you. Remember, today, during 5th period after lunch, we'll be having our school pep rally. Hoot, hoot, go Owls. I hope you're all set and ready to show your school spirit. Go Owls! Hoot, hoot! And then the announcement, and she goes, oh, and a quick announcement from our vice principal. And the vice principal takes over and just does the mundane kind of morning announcements about, you know, any future events coming up for school, a kind of mundane stuff, not really much y'all are probably gonna keep too much of note of. But class starts. Nicholas, you're sitting in class, a class that you share with Mila, actually, and a couple of other people on the cheer team. There's a couple of your cheer teammates there. And Mila, you remember, had to depart from you early as you were figuring out the whole puppy situation. We're gonna have a quick little flashback, since I forgot to implement this scene, where you're distracted by the puppy, and you remember Mila saying, all right, well, Nicholas, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for like the pre-meeting stuff, at least for the girl cheerleaders, as we make sure we discuss some of the stuff. And I know you and the guys will make sure you go over the routine and such beforehand. So I'll see you later. And that's something you remembered. And your classmates, primarily like the girl cheerleaders in your class, they look a bit dazed somehow. There seems to be, Mila's usually very focused in class. She's a hardworking student, but today she's kind of like staring off into space. Not a single notebook on her desk, no pencil, nothing like that. And you see she's not the only one. There's at least 3 other girls, all of them you know is in the cheer team. All seem to have that same distracted kind of look in their eyes. The class you're in is actually a very simple astronomy class for juniors, taught by one of the more popular science teachers, Mr. Smith, as he's talking on and on. And normally this is Mila's one of her favorite subjects, and she's just not focusing at all, not doing anything. What do you do?
Is this one of those rooms? My high school was weird, so let me just ask.
Set the scene. Go ahead. Ask me.
Is this like one of those classes where it's like separate desks, or is it one with like my high school had like
those big,
like
blocky,
the big-
heavy duty
the
desks?
big tables that was like 4 people would sit at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at my high school, for a lot of science classes in particular, were a lot of those like big, if you ram into it, it wouldn't budge, but you would be bruised on the thigh for quite a while, kind of big desk, enough for like two comfortably, comfortably two, for sure 4 students could sit at. And with how the class is kind of arranged, the table is kind of set in kind of a U. So students can sit on either side, inner circle, kind of outer circle kind of deal. I think it's safe to assume that you and Mila always find a reason to always sit next to each other. Like when the seats got assigned, you were able to convince Mr. Smith to let you two sit next to each other, promising you wouldn't be trouble, and you've never been. So yeah.
I'm gonna sort of just try to discreetly just tap her arm.
And she kind of just slowly turns her head towards you and just looks at you.
You okay?
Mm-hmm. I'm great.
You seem kind of out of it. Did something happen?
Nope. Had the meeting with the girls. Everything went great. Ready for the pep rally. Hooray!
What happened? Anything in particular happened at the meeting? Anything different?
Spoke with the girls. Ready for the pep rally. Hooray! And the two other, the other cheerleaders, some of them sitting by you, just kind of look and smile half and go, "Yay!"
I'm gonna kind of look. It's kind of look a little bit closer. I don't know if I could tell anything by looking, but
I'm going to say this kind of sounds like a glimpse of the truth, maybe, unless you're thinking otherwise.
yeah, I can try that again.
Okay. Because that's what it sounds like you're trying to figure out.
Yeah. I got the exact same thing I did last time.
You got a failure.
I got a 5.
Oh boy.
Different numbers, but they both added up to 5.
Well, go ahead and mark that you get another experience, because remember, it's with every roll of 6 or lower that you get, it's an experience point for you.
Yeah.
Nick is getting new dice.
You're looking into Mila's eyes. This is your childhood best friend, the person you are super close with. And you don't recognize this person at all. There's something different about her, and it's really bothering you. Like this is a stranger to you. This is not a Mila you never met. Maybe this is Mila the whole time, and she's only just now deciding to show her true colors that she probably kept hidden from you. So how does that make you feel as her closest friend, longest friend, that maybe she's just showing a part of her that she's never wanted you to know?
He just kind of gets quiet and goes back to writing his notes, and he writes them more detailed, just in case she needs to look at them later.
Sure. Next couple of bells ring, and all of you who recognize someone as being on the cheer team, whether you saw them at other pep rallies or anything like that, specifically all the girl cheerleaders, none of the guy cheerleaders, all the girl cheerleaders seem to have this kind of dazed expression on their faces, never pulling out a notebook, never pulling out a pencil, never taking notes, and never seeming to be bothered when they get scolding from a teacher. As they're all just kind of, whenever they get asked, they always say, "So excited for the pep rally. Hooray!" In the same dazed kind of sounding voice. Finally, actually no, Katie, for you, in one of your classes, whatever class you have right before lunch for fourth period, Mira kind of pops his head out after one of the cheerleaders says this, and he, again, since only you can understand him, he just looks up and goes, "Are a lot of teenagers like this in this place?"
No, this is new.
Oh, all right. And he just buries himself back into his backpack.
Wait, whoa, come back.
Miss Brown,
Come back.
did you have something you wanted to
Yes.
share with the class?
No, I was just so enthralled with, what are we doing? Density and matter.
Okay. So let's get back to the nebulous of the plant cell.
Osmosis. My parents are scientists.
That gets a burst of laughter from a lot of the students, except the cheerleaders. That was great. That was great. So, eventually, lunch comes around. The section before fifth period when the pep rally is supposed to happen. Hold on, forgot my words. Trying to remember names. Casey, that was it. Casey, I'm so bad with names. I have so many names to look at. Bernard comes up to you with kind of this confused look of like, "Hey, has any of the cheerleaders been acting weirder than usual to you?"
Yeah, they all seem a little, like, out of it. Like, if I didn't know better, I'd say that they were, I don't know, passing around Valiums or something, but that doesn't really seem like their vibe. Like, usually that's sort of the opposite, right? Especially with a
Yeah.
pep rally.
Yeah, maybe they're nervous. Okay, I'm gonna go grab lunch. See you later.
Okay.
So, just that brief little thing. What are all of you doing when lunchtime comes around and having this weird interaction in your minds with all the cheerleaders the girl cheerleaders you encountered?
I'm Nick.
Okay.
Maybe even I probably. Yeah, Nick, would I have your number? Because we know each other in general. We might have each other on Instagram or something.
Yeah, probably.
I shoot you a message and be like, "Cheerleaders are weird. Is it you as well?"
I'll respond with, no, question mark, not me. And then a second text. They were normal before the meeting this morning. ... Very pensive.
Gotta love outing the ...
Yeah.
Send you a message and be like, "A cult club kid might know something." See you there.
All right.
Casey, after she gets food, is in fact looking for Katie, because she promised to give the dog some food. Since Katie was holding out.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
I'll say you see Katie starting to make a direction somewhere.
vaguely wondering where the library is. She's just like, I know Haley hangs out there. It's just like, God, if I were Haley, which direction would I go to find the library? Because I know the library is where the occult club is, and she's like standing in the hall. Like,
Are you
this
saying
whole
this out
conversation
loud?
is happening. It's all happening in her head, but like the actions are happening in real time. So it's just like a.
Mira again pops his head out and plops his head on your shoulder and goes, "You're all right there. You seem to be a little focused there or distracted. All right."
No, I'm just lost. I'm not indoors a lot. And we'll just start walking in a direction. That's a lie. I'm indoors like all the time. But my skills are like, I don't know.
Make me a be vigilant roll, Katie. Make me a be vigilant roll.
That's definitely gonna fail. That's the 3 on the dice.
What's your mental?
A 0, so that's just a 3.
You
dummy.
have
Dumb guy.
no idea where the school life. Like, you've been there because sometimes one of your classes will go to like the computer lab and the library. Doesn't mean that you actually remember where exactly it is in this school, even though this is your second year.
Usually
here.
I just follow somebody, you know? I'm not paying attention.
I'll say, Luke, you actually see Katie kind of just standing there. She seems to be trying to map something out in her head as Mira goes, hi, I think a cult one, as I think you would. I don't think I probably got your names, but
Yeah, give me a sec. And he's like tacking a poster to like the wall. It's an actual tack.
Wait, no.
He's literally tacking it to the wall.
Into the brick?
Well, at a American high school, some of the wall is kind of
You mean, like,
made in a way where
plasterboard?
you can, some of them
I
are so
assume this is,
crappy
like-
that you can't easily tack them, or it just won't go well.
Yeah, you can't use something sticky on them because they put like a coating on them to keep the
It's
Work
almost like
stuff off.
popcorn ceilings, except on the wall and a lot more uncomfortable.
yeah. It's
Incredible.
popcorn ceiling
like
in the
go up
hallways and then
to-
drop ceilings in the classrooms. It's fine. Fine.
But yes,
Don't
so
worry.
Luke and Katie, you see each other.
Yeah,
Hey,
and I reckon
Ka-chan.
Casey, you were just down the wall kind of area.
So keep in mind,
you know-
the school,
Sorry,
the
dude.
school has a lot of like open air kind of thing. So just as a little visual reminder, so the lunch area is kind of an open space with a whole bunch of tables. So, and this is what my high school did. There's kind of like metal, like roofing in an open area to kind of act as shading. But what it really does is just makes it so much louder with so many teenagers talking and yapping. Some of them clapping, some of them playing their phones with music way too loud as people try to do the latest dance trends on all sorts of various social medias. It's very loud over there.
So yes, I guess I just wanted to make sure because you said that Casey had seen Katie, but then Katie was in the hallway, so I was unclear about
Yeah.
who was where. Now what?
You're all kind of in the lunch
Reorientate.
area. You're kind of
Okay.
all in the lunch area,
Yeah.
which is kind of like the standard going area.
Okay. Well then yeah, Casey's approaching. So, hey, are you skipping lunch? Is that why you put lunch in your bag that you don't give to dogs?
Wait, no, I just I don't like the food here,
Oh,
so I just bring
well,
my own.
That's fair. Okay.
That's fair.
I did get some
Also,
extra.
whoa. Sorry, I've got very distracted by what this kid. Sorry, what is your name? And she's looking at a cult boy.
Oh boy.
That's Luke.
It's- Yeah.
Luke.
Yeah. My name is Luke.
All right. What did you call me?
Cat-chan? Because your
Absolutely
name's Cat,
not.
right, Katie?
Okay. Cat is okay, but not
Katie?
the other one. But
Ka-chan?
hold on. Yes, so Yeah, and she'll like swivel back to Casey.
You don't watch anime. Got it.
Or maybe she doesn't.
Which what?
And
Japanese culture. It's the pop culture.
Oh
mean,
no,
like,
he's
Pokemon?
a weeaboo.
Ouch, that's offensive. And also, not all of us are weeaboos, okay? Weeaboos are a very specific classification of anime nerd, and I am not a weeaboo. I
That
watch
was the
it.
voice from the ether. No one said that.
That's the dog in my backpack being like,
Yes, because the dog who didn't know what computers were suddenly knows what a weeaboo is.
He picked it up in the last 4 hours.
He's
so
been
many
looking
kids
at
around.
Katie's phone, like, scrolling through it. Paw first. Just
Anyway,
you're out of
continue
minutes.
the scene. Continue the scene.
damn it. Like,
Yes,
anyway, so
I'm-
hold on.
I'm
What are
Luke.
you doing here?
I'm putting up flyers for the occult club.
Okay, cool. And Casey,
yes.
I do know your name.
I just wanted to give
you?
Mira. I think I was saying that right. Mira.
Mira, yes, you have something for me to
Oh,
eat, and you feel
Mira.
the
It's
tail
like
hitting your back.
rolled.
He actually
Okay.
jumps out of the backpack and starts floating around, y'all. He's because you have all seen him and officially have received powers. He's a lot more careless of what he does with his own abilities. It seems that he's just like running around your head, like, yes, you said food, you mentioned food, and Nicholas, you could see this dog, the air dog, running around Casey's head.
Okay, so that's. Do you know what you're allergic to? Because I know some dogs.
Just stops
you
and
can't
sits
give
right
dogs chocolate.
My dear, I am a cosmic entity from the stars, representing a constellation that your people discovered many thousands of years ago. I would like some chocolate, please, if you have that. That sounds delicious.
Have you had it before?
I
said
want
it
to
sounds
say
delicious.
I want to
'Cause-
say yes, but the last time I was on Earth was probably some thousands of years ago, so I'm not 100% sure.
I'm not 100% sure we had chocolate 1,000 years ago, but I'm not that good at history. Okay, because chocolate is the one thing that dogs are definitely not supposed to have. Like,
Well,
and
I'm not. To be fair, I'm not technically a dog. This is kind of just a form I decided to take up because I saw a lot of images containing this particular kind of creature. So I had to assume that it was something that your people worshipped, maybe, or at least respected the hell out of. So that's why I figured, hey, I guess a dog. You said this was? I guess that'll work. No, of course I would know it's a dog, but I guess this particular one was very popular.
course.
Forget that he
Okay.
questioned what a dog was because he's freaking made Canis Miter. He would know what a fucking dog is, so excuse me. He's just not particular
Fine.
what breed he chooses to take a form of. This is
Okay.
just the one he chose in this instance of coming to Earth.
okay, well then, I have.
So
I
you're
have an
interested
assortment.
in the occult club? He's trying to obviously make this like you're interested in the occult club, yes?
Nita just starts eating whatever chocolate you hand out. Casey.
I mean, it's an after-school
Wait,
activity.
can I have some chocolate?
You have to
and-
negotiate with Mira, because I mean, you two.
the
have
chocolate
your
is
own-
already gone as quickly
Okay.
as you pulled it out.
Yeah, I'm
Wrapper and
assuming,
all, I
given it
want
was-
to say.
I'm assuming that giving it was school lunch, that it was chocolate pudding. So.
Like
Well,
he
I'm just gonna
ate
go
the
put
whole
this
thing. He ate the entire
here.
thing, not just the pudding itself. Before you even opened it, he ate the entire container and the pudding inside of it. I just want to make that clear.
Fascinating.
Okay.
Okay. One.
Luke's walked away to go pin like another poster up.
Wait, Luke.
Okay, well,
What happened to everyone else who was in the occult club?
They're seniors this year. They're graduating. They don't have time.
Oh.
right. Well, we. Okay. where do we start? One, with the occult club, I'm personally, I'm a little bit too busy. I can't join. I can't speak for everybody else. Two, something weird is going on, and we need to discuss it, I think.
We're talking about the cheerleaders who are
Yeah.
sad is the wrong word.
Yeah, they look pretty high. Maybe the goth
Yeah.
group.
Thinking more like possessed.
Could be
I
possession.
would like to quickly
can't rule that
remind you
out.
all of one of the things about this game. Mita, technically, is your mystical creature for this game, which was part of the character creation for the characters, just so you folks all know at home. A feature that you can use for your mystical creature is once per session, you can actually consult your mystical creature about the current situation. Whoever wishes to do so only rolls 2d6, no adding or subtracting anything. It is all pure chance, and that result will determine how much your creature knows. Now, that is just me reminding you of that mechanic for whenever you all want to utilize that, but it can only be done once per session. So I just wanted to make sure to remind you all that was something you could do if you wanted to.
So, these conversations about possession and cosmic entities, these are all right up the alley of the occult club.
Mhm. Well,
He just keeps tacking, he's moving down the corridor, tacking stuff to the wall.
Look, if we're all doing this thing that I presume that we can't easily get out of now, and that's okay because maybe we can be helpful, then it would be good to have an excuse to meet each other anyway. So sure, I'll join the occult club.
Great, here. He hands you a flyer. And do you remember the advert for Ghostbusters? Like their commercial?
Which one? The original?
The original commercial.
Okay. There's a lot of Ghostbusters
from the
these
first
days.
one, where they're like, do you experience paranormal activity?
Got it. Okay.
And it's like the hard cut. It's like that, but on paper.
No images.
Join
It's
the-
all just words.
It's just words, and it says, join the occult club today.
Yeah, Casey's getting out a pen and she's like, check, X, check, X.
Great.
Okay.
Is this a
I'm not
quiz?
joining your weird ass cult, but I will.
Club,
No,
club, not
it's-
cult. Probably. It's not a cult, right? It's just a club?
No,
She's
we talk
asking
about
Luke this.
cults.
Okay.
We talk
Cult
about
is
cults.
literally in the name.
Well, it's the occult. It's about.
I guess,
occult.
anyway.
And
The point is, do you have a room where we don't look like weirdos talking to air?
Well, we still will. Just people won't
Yes.
see us.
Well, that's fine.
We can always discuss changing the name. I am the only person in there at the moment, but it is the occult club right now. I think tacks another one onto the wall.
The
I mean,
wall,
honestly-
this board is now just filled with 5 of the same poster in one spot. This has not been spread out at all.
It would
I gotta move.
it would be good if it was
It's gonna
still
start
named a
moving
club
to
that other
put
people
them on
don't super want to
tables.
join. Not that that's a thing.
And should
about the
we
occult
go
club.
there now? How long is lunch? How much longer do we
yeah,
have lunch?
we should
So
go there.
lunch, I'm gonna say this has probably been maybe 10 minutes. Lunch is about 30 or
Lunch.
so minutes. You don't have too much time.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, let's head there and talk.
All
Okay,
right, so
yeah.
Luke,
All right.
what does the room that the occult club uses look like? Remember, it's a shared space for other students who might need the area, but
It is
so
a
what,
shared
what
space.
room is it? Is
So-
the occult club held in?
So it's at the back of the library. So we come into the library, we walk past the front desk, all the shelves of many books, and at the very back is a single door. It's nondescript. It doesn't have anything on it except for a flyer taped on the inside that just faces back out the little glass window that says Occult Club. Luke walks over, puts the key in, turns it, pulls open the door, pops the key back out, puts it in his pocket, and opens the door and holds it open. Welcome to the Occult Club. And inside, it's like a small library with 4 computers and just a bunch of textbooks that teachers might use or look at. Like, this is definitely one of those teachers
Spare
are needing
staff,
to do
Yeah.
a spare staff room, and this isn't usually inhabited by students, usually. But there's a nice conference table in the center with a couple of chairs, the 4 computers against one side, and a small shelving units with lots of thick encyclopedia-esque, maybe teacher-esque books.
Like the teacher
shelved.
textbooks that have all the answers or all the more thicker information that the students' handbooks did. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah, it's the big thick stuff. And so the club room is kind of sparse. What you do have in there is a water container, one of those water dispensers that dispenses hot and cold water, and a small sachet. I say sachet, but it's like a little carrying to your bedside table thing of like teas and powdered coffees with powdered creamers and sugar that's up there, that because we're part of the occult club, we have access to caffeine. It's a nice assortment of caffeine, chamomile, and more caffeine.
Okay.
Katie will start making an absolutely feral coffee with too much creamer and too much sugar as she just sort of waits,
No such thing.
and is watching like Casey and Luke sort of quite expectantly. It's just like, you guys vaguely seem like you know what's up, so I'm just gonna like sit here and keep my hands busy while I wait for what's going on.
Yeah, this is a cosmic entity, pretty standard issue stuff.
Do you
far
really
as
know what's
cosmic
going on
entity
about
stuff going
everything
on.
that's happening? Because I've kind of
No.
thrown a lot of
Yeah, you
information
just
at-
said you're a cosmic entity.
Oh, well, I
I mean, I'm
yes.
just repeating back what you've already told me.
Fair enough.
Cosmic entity.
I called club away.
We only have more questions than we did before. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's really just one question mostly. Why are
And-
why are cheerleaders weird? And that sounds like a normal question, but we mean specifically.
They're acting possessed.
Yeah, they're acting.
They're
Yeah, but,
being
like-
very robotish.
Really, really laid back ghosts? That doesn't.
That's why I said possessed.
Yeah.
Yeah. In possession, one isn't themselves, and it's almost as if someone else is controlling them. Think zombie, but with a mind.
Well, but okay.
So-
all the people
Question-
controlling them are very chill.
Question.
Yeah.
Is this you all asking Mira for using your mystical creature thing?
I mean, I
or-
was aiming in that direction, but I don't.
Yeah.
If it has to be a
Then-
group decision, then
I mean, it is technically something the team consults. So is this something the team would be okay with, of this being something aimed at Mira, since all this weirdness happened the same day you happened to encounter him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Casey,
Roll
since
it,
you're the
Pandora.
one who asked the question directly, just roll 2d6 and tell me what the total result is.
7.
7. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, it's not a critical failure. So Mira,
Wow, that got downgraded, quickly,
It's-
but that's pretty good. Well, it's not a. super-
I'm still getting used to how Powered by the Apocalypse works with how some of the rolls work. So I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
fair,
that's not
fair.
too bad. Oh wait, that's how this system works. That's right. It wasn't a critical failure. That's why I was like, that's pretty good. It wasn't a critical failure.
Sure.
You didn't roll a 6. That's the important part. So that's technically like a 7 to 9 because you said you got.
Yes, 7.
Okay. So Mira kind of is floating around, takes a sniff at Katie's coffee, the overly sweet, was just sniffing, and he goes, The particular student, if I'm saying that word correctly, seemingly all of a sudden not quite focused, seem out of it.
Repeating themselves.
I'm sorry. I'm I'm not 100% sure what's going on, as I've only been here for only a night, really, officially. I just arrived here last night, to be perfectly honest.
Well, the
But-
thing that you did with the light, like, that made us, like, feel
Well, yes,
away?
but that was me bestowing powers upon you. But for this,
Wait, what?
oh, did I miss that part? Did I skip that part? Yeah, you all have the power to summon the Zodiac that I bestowed upon you. You know, but if you're trying to like be quiet about it, probably don't do it out in the open because it's got a bit of a flash to it.
Okay.
Sorry, I totally I guess I forgot to mention that part. Whoops. But you know what? I'm always gonna help you out here. That's what I'm here for. I came here to help some.
got
Oh, are you
friends.
trying to like transform?
We're doing like an Adora at the start of She-Ra, where she's just like, "How do I do the sword?"
Try.
Is it this?
The Spider-Man. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure what's going on, but I've got you. And I'm gonna say, the next time any of you roll, your next roll gets a +1 on top of whatever you roll. So whatever I next have you roll for, you get to add a 1 because Mira may not know what's going on, but he's got your back.
Okay. Well. Concerning that. I mean, concerning just in general for the well-being of the people who have been changed.
It was
Whatever.
those particular ones wearing all the dark blue and silver kind of outfits, is that correct?
Yes.
Which you would know, just as a reminder to you all, because I think I forgot to say this, is that for your school mascot is Orion the Owl. So there's been a lot of owl kind of decor. There's a huge like little mascot mural of like Go Owls, Orion the Owl kind of work. And Nicholas, if you have probably changed into your own uniform, it is dark blue trimmed with silver with
Like owl feathers.
SCHS. No, just very simple, and it just says SCHS kind of on the front and
Yeah.
so kind of standard. And that's the same for like a lot of the sports jerseys and such, which Katie would also know, being on the soccer team here. But that's what Mira says. So it's like, oh, that is odd. Never seen that. Could it be the outfits doing it? Oh,
Well-
you would know that's not true because Mila wore her uniform to school and brought a change of clothes with her.
No, she was wearing it before.
Oh, well, there goes that theory.
And I also have one. It's fine. Matching.
Well, it is only. Nick, do you reckon they'll be all right for the pep rally?
That's what I was wondering.
Were they like that?
I was
Like,
really
did
looking
anybody
forward
see
to
them, like, before school? Like, I don't know.
They
Do
had-
do you guys take the bus or do you?
Us? No.
I
That's
drove.
Sure.
And my friend, she was fine, and then all of them met before school, and after that, something happened between.
Lucas pulled out like an
They got
occult book.
there and
Do you know why they
This-
met?
let's go over things for the pep rally.
Captain.
Yeah, this could definitely be possession. Some sort of voodoo, maybe? Low level magic?
Do 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 do. You hear the bell giving you the warning that lunch is now over. You realize time has passed pretty quickly amongst your conversations, and you gotta get
Gotta
ready
go.
to go to your next class. Nick, you know that bell means that you need to help get ready for the pep rally. You have an excuse already, and you need to meet with the other cheerleaders.
Yeah, I've got to go meet with them. I don't want to ask anybody to miss class or anything.
Oh, I can
But-
totally come. And like Katie's just like wearing her like varsity jacket, and she's like,
I
I'll be
didn't
there.
mean go with me,
I'll
but
fit in.
sometimes we practice in the outside area. We're going to be in the gym right now. Maybe look around and see if there's anything weird going on.
Do you mean like in the gym?
In the gym, outside, in the fields.
I can.
Okay.
The pep rally's later after school, right?
It is next period. So the
Oh.
announcement said that it was going to be during 5th period, and the alarm has gone off, letting students know lunch is over. And
This is
because
start
this
of
is a
5th?
pretty big school, so that was the warning bell, and you have about 5 minutes to get to your next class before the alarm goes off to say, hey, class is now in session. Because for each class period, there are 2 alarms. One that lets you know when a period ends. Then you have 5 minutes to get to your next class, and then the next bell is when that period has officially started. So you have 5 minutes to get from, if you choose to leave this room to go to your classes or the gym.
But the pep rally is not the whole 5th period. We're supposed to go to our class first and then.
Yes, because the teachers still have to make sure students are accounted for.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean you have to.
I've
Katie
got
takes
down.
out her phone and is just like, can we like, I don't know, form a group chat or something?
Yeah, good idea.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Okay.
Then we'll-
Yeah.
Casey
We're
will rattle
on
off
comms,
her phone
gang.
number. She already had her phone
Nice.
out because she was looking up Libra
The-
to try to figure
Hey.
out what power might come with that, and
Sure.
measuring the weights of things didn't seem super useful. So
This is 2 ounces.
it's
All
not
right.
even,
This is-
that's not even specific. You can only compare the weights of 2 things. This is heavier than that.
So do you all exchange phone numbers, or do you share particular social media and just form a group chat through there?
all of that, whatever's
Yeah.
on tap.
Katie like defaulted to like an Insta group chat.
I hate this.
I'm glad.
Yes.
Why do you hate?
I don't
How
like
did
it.
how
I
did the
hate
occult club
Instagram.
communicate before?
By talking to each other.
Just
Ew.
weird.
Actual face-to-face communication.
That seems super inefficient. Like,
Oh, occasional text. But, that was just to be like, hey, the occult club isn't meeting today. Which, by the way, the occult club isn't meeting today because of the pep rally.
I mean, okay.
Nicholas is
Well, the club
taking
usually
off
happens
too
after.
quickly.
Just so we're clear,
Be
club
on time.
activities happen after school. The pep rally is during school. Just so we're clear.
Yes.
Doesn't it take up, like, the rest of the school time?
It only
though,
takes up
today?
1 hour. It only takes up one
It's
class
just
period. So you would
exhausting.
still. Have you never gone to a school pep rally? They take up an entire class period, just one class period, and then you have to go back to the
So,
rest of the classes.
I definitely
my-
haven't.
The schools I've
Weird.
been to, I've been to, pep
I
rallies were
realized-
either first thing in the morning, before any of your classes, or at the very end of the day, so that it wasn't interrupting anything.
Yeah, my school didn't do that. Yeah, I'm not gonna
Yeah, we
name
don't-
it, but it was a very football-heavy school, so pep rallies would take up a whole hour.
Yeah, if my school had them, I was not aware of them. I never went
I
to one.
didn't have a choice but
It
to
wasn't
attend.
mandatory, I guess. So
It was for me, so that's why this is built into my brain. Anywho,
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
so
you exchange
Casey-
contacts. Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
so
Casey.
Casey's gonna be like, well, okay, so I'm gonna go to class, but then we're all gonna go to the pep rally anyway, so then we can just like circle back once we're in the wherever
This
the
is
pep
my
rally
free
is.
period, so I guess I'll just be here with Mira if Mira doesn't want to go back with someone to class.
I'm curious about this pep rally. The pep rally? I mixed a southern accent in with that Scottish. But you know what? I'm curious. Let's go. tail just wagging. It's like it's wagging so far that stars are actually, you know, like those LED things that move really, really fast to make images. His is moving so fast you could see a little Canis Minor constellation in his tail wag.
Yeah,
like it's super moving.
Okay, that's cool.
I've got to head down. I've got to get changed. I've got to meet with everybody. So I think maybe look around the gym, look at the bleachers. They'll be pulled out. Look outside. I don't know.
Nick, you know that when the cheerleaders sometimes meet, they go directly to the girls' locker room, or any of the locker rooms sometimes, if it's just something particular for the girls to talk about when they want to gossip or anything like that.
Point at Katie, and also check the locker room, because I can't go in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't
Right.
go there.
Casey, do you want to come with me? Girls locker room?
I mean, okay, I don't do a sport, but sure.
Like, Katie takes off her jacket and like passes it to you. Now you do.
Underneath, we just see
How
like,
how much more buff is Katie compared to Casey? How big is this jacket on Casey?
I mean, Casey is pretty small, and like she's I mean, she's physical 0, so you know.
But not
Katie
-1.
isn't wide. Katie's just tall. Yeah, in a very like Australian athletic way, where we're just like
Mean.
long and tall, and our superpower is jumping.
Because that worked so well this morning for you.
Definitely.
So the sleeves
Anyway,
are over Casey's hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, Casey made a cursory effort to actually follow the rules and was effectively bulldozed and is just going along with it now.
Okay.
I don't think you should wear his
No rules.
leather knit. Oh,
All right. So, what are you all doing? The next bell, you know, is about to ring. I'm gonna guess. Do none of you go to class then?
Well, I am not allowed
At least
to
the
not go to
ones,
class.
the ones who aren't allowed to not go to class. Are we having some troublemaker skipping class?
Cause
I expected you to, Katie. Lovingly.
Luke's just gonna go put up more occult. He's just loading all the other boards up and down the hallways during this feed period. When he gets close, he'll make his way towards the gym.
Okay.
It's not priority though. Like this
Okay.
is priority. Get this out.
So then, how about we go ahead, Casey and Katie? Sounds like you two are gonna go where? What is the plan for you two?
I'm just following Katie. I don't even know where the girls' locker room is.
it's the one place in the school I do know where it is. So
I would hope so, with
Let's
you
go.
being on a sports team. All right, so you two make your way to the girls' locker room. You hear the last minute bits of lockers closing as other teens have put on their PE uniforms, getting ready for their phys ed classes. Are you two... Actually, no, not phys ed classes. You just hear a lot of chattering in there for students getting anticipation. Are you two trying to blend in with those students at first, or are you going to try to wait until maybe they clear out?
Katie's just gonna walk straight in because she feels like she belongs in this space. So she's like, "Yep."
Okay, just follow right behind Casey.
I mean, yeah, because, yes, Katie knows what she's doing, clearly, so I feel confident
Okay.
about that.
So it is pretty noisy in here, with this being, you know, a locker room. A lot of teens are talking, yapping as they're starting to make their way out. That way they can actually meet up with their class before going into the gym properly. You can hear one of the phys ed teachers like, "Okay, ladies, let's go, 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 go out into the courtyard before we have to go to the pep rally. Let's go." You two
Hide in
want
the
to stay?
bathroom?
Do you two want to stay out of sight of this teacher so that way she doesn't try to pull you in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does the
I
locker room
want you-
have a bathroom in it?
It does. So what I want you both to do real quick, roll me. We're gonna make this a be vigilant roll. Yeah, we're gonna
all
say
these delightful mental rolls.
Hi, Zoe. There's no stealth.
I got a 7.
Ooh,
Would it be keep
I
your wits
pass.
about you?
I get some XP.
No.
No.
Oh, no.
I won't say it's to keep your wits about you because it's the two of them just that's for something very different. This is just to make sure that they can find a way. So you got a 6 or less.
Yes, yes, I got in fact a 5. Yeah, keep your wits about you is more like hold your crap together.
Yeah, hold your shit together. Be vigilant is there's like questions on there that you can ask unless you roll 12, and you can ask questions off the list of like what's my way out, way in, things like that. So that's why I decided to do be vigilant. Okay. Katie, what did you say that you got? You got a 7 or 9?
I got a 7, but I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
One of my athlete abilities allows me to upgrade one of my roles. Can I use it for Casey?
Unfortunately, well, let me think. How would you use the skill to try and help Casey? Like, try paint me a picture. How would you try to use your skill to help Casey out?
All right, so the skill is, this is just like that time when and then I tell a story. And I feel like we're going into this, and Katie has this sort of moment where she's like, locks in as we're doing like sort of secret agent business, and she's gonna start telling this story about like how her and her sister like tried to break into their parents' room where they'd hidden like the Easter eggs or something, and they had to hide. And so she's basically like taking on this role of just like, yeah, big sister being vigilant and keeping my little sister sort of from getting caught. And so she'll like stop Casey from getting caught.
Okay, remind me, does this up your result, or does it just add a number on top of your result? It ups your result?
It upgrades the result.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've painted me a good
Unless
enough...
you want to take the fail.
No, I don't need XP, whatever.
We can say this, because that would upgrade... Let me think here. We'll go with the fun. We'll go with the fun. I'll say technically, because you did roll a 6, you could still have the XP, but you're not going to get the very awful result. This basically means you both have the 7 to 9 roll, which means that you can ask one of the questions that is on the list for the Be Vigilant one. So I'm still going to give you the 1 XP just because, Casey, so make sure you mark that. But go ahead, both of you can go ahead and ask a question on the Be Vigilant list. And for
But
the audience,
is this specifically about hiding from the gym teacher, or just in general, like investigating?
So be vigilant. So this is kind of...
Oh wait, yeah, I'm looking at the wrong
Yeah,
one.
it's a dangerous situation, because if you get caught by a teacher, they're probably going to try to drag you out somewhere and not let you stay in here. So for those at home, for Be Vigilant in this system, while those two are looking at it, there's questions like, what's my best way in? Best way out? Are there any dangers I haven't noticed? What's most vulnerable to me? What seems to be the monster's weakness? And what's the best way to protect the area or victims here? Are kind of questions, examples that the characters can ask me, the GM.
Yeah, I feel like best way out is the most relevant one here.
Sure. Does that sound right for you, Katie?
If you're going for best way out, Katie's on the lookout. So staying on the train of like that story that she's probably telling, she's looking out for danger. So for her, from her perspective, it's, are there any dangers that we haven't noticed?
Okay. Aside from the PE teacher, nothing is really popping out at you as something that will, there's definitely a big group of teenagers on the way, and they are very close together. So if you don't try to find a way to get out of the way, they're probably going to start accidentally kind of shoving you out of the locker room unless you get out of the way in time. And Casey, God, with two K names paired together, it's going to take me a moment. I'm so sorry. With Casey, the best way to hide from the teacher you see is going to be the area where the bathrooms are. You can easily hide in one of the stalls if you lift your legs up. Because here in America, we don't believe in having stalls all the way down to the floor.
Well aware.
Fun. But those are your 2 results. So what do you do?
So, we just have to, well, do we both get both answers? Like, did we talk about this?
Those were the answers that you both got. This is like, think of it as like your brain's working on this observation. So like Casey, with this knowledge, you're like, okay, teacher is in this area. If teacher sees me, teacher will probably try to get me to leave. But bathrooms are right there, like right next to me before I would even reach the teacher. So I could easily hide from the teacher in there. For Katie, it's like, okay, what else besides the teacher is going to cause us trouble? Oh, gaggle of teenagers all tightly bunched together. That would be really hard for me to kind of slip away and not be seen. So that's if I don't move in time. So that's kind of like the danger.
Okay.
That's kind of like your two situations and how your two. I think it's a great example of how your two brains work, of figuring that out. So what do you two do to act on this knowledge?
Casey's like, quick, go get in the bathroom, and then does that.
And Katie will just like turn around and is like, oh yeah, hiding place, good idea, and go with you. And just be like, there'll be an awkward moment where like Katie goes to like be in the same stall and just like, no, and then turns around.
You have to sit on the thing and
That's weird.
pull your legs up. We can't.
All right. So I'll say, because you both act on your answers in a way, in a meaningful way as appropriate to your questions, you do get a +1 going, +1 onward, ongoing. That's the word. So there you go. Okay, so two of you do that, and you hear it finally quiet down as all the teens have left. You are now free to explore the girls' locker room on your own. What do you do?
Dun, 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 dun. Let's glimpse the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did we take the dog with us?
Mita probably went with you two, because he's kind of, your backpack has been the most spacious that he's seen out of everyone, since you're the one who brings the least textbooks, books, and homework. So he's probably found the most space in your backpack. So he kind of pops his head out. It's like, that was loud. My goodness. Oh, the stars. So what are we looking for?
All right, Doug. Sniff out whatever's going on.
There's a lot of new smells here. I don't know what I'm trying to smell. You two can go ahead and roll me a glimpse of the truth, though, for your own rolls. Did you just sniff yourself and go like, yeah, you smell?
Yeah.
Katie's been running all day. Come on.
It's another mental stat. I'm so sorry, Casey.
Perfectly fine.
What did you get, Kate?
It's a 7, so.
7 for Casey. Katie?
Well, if the dog is helping me, and I used that +1 from before as well, then I get a 7,
I didn't count the
but
+1, so
otherwise.
I got an 8.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
there's
Actually,
the
would that
+1.
result earlier would have helped you then? What did you get, a 5 on your roll before, Casey?
Yes.
6.
If
Okay,
it still would
so
have
would
just
have
been a
been
6, so it didn't change it.
Yeah, okay. My brain just wanted to make sure that I
No, yeah.
was remembering correctly. Okay, what did you get, Katie? Because, and no, you don't.
5 on the
like,
dice. But if their buffs aren't stackable, then it's just
The
it's just a
only
6.
buff you have is the +1 from Mita. So it's a 6. Okay. So, Casey, you got a 7.
Yes.
So you can either hold, or you can ask one of the questions that are on the list.
Are the questions like in the context of what we're actually doing? Like the what's the most useful thing here? Does that
It can be, if you think
the
that's
most
a
useful
question.
for figuring out what's going on?
If that's how you intend that question, then absolutely. If you think that is the question that needs to be asked, absolutely. It's whatever you think would be appropriate.
Yeah, that.
All right, so it's, one more time, it was the,
What's the most useful thing here?
what's the most useful thing here? Excellent question. So for you, I'll get to your results in a bit, Katie, but for you, Casey, when you walk about, something that you kind of notice that's a little you're like, I don't really go in locker rooms, but that seems a little odd. You can see on kind of one, so how this locker room is kind of set up is that there's several rows of like small lockers where with benches and 2 sets of benches in between for students to sit in, put their regular clothes in, not today of course, and then switch out into their PE clothes. As you're kind of walking and kind of looking at things, you notice in one row, on one of the lockers closest to you, there seems to be kind of like this dust, but it's not dust. It's a lot shinier than dust, and it's not glitter. You know, glitter, even if it's like body art glitter, kind of makes you think of Mita and kind of the dusty star coat on him. Katie, for you, let's see here. For this situation, Casey seems a lot more comfortable in this locker room somehow than you expected, and I don't know, maybe there's something she's hiding. You're not 100% sure. Well, let me think. The truth. Yeah. And maybe there's a lot more to this situation, especially with Casey involved. This has been a weird day for you. No matter how excited you got, this is a weird day. You're not sure what's going on. The situation just doesn't sit right with you, though. You don't like it.
Well, this is weird.
Well, yeah, did you see the stuff too? I don't know what to call it. Is Stardust a thing? Like, literally?
Stardust?
Yeah.
And Meter will kind of do his walking on air thing.
Casey's pointing to where she saw it.
Huh, so it is. Interesting. Well, who'd have thought?
Okay, is there anything...
What does that mean?
I had no clue, honestly. Look, I'm only Canis Minor. I only have so many abilities, and this isn't exactly in my collection of abilities. This,
Okay.
he kind of hops in the air. This wags his tail so you can see his constellation. And bestowing the powders on you, that's about the extension that I know of. Again, I haven't been on Earth in a long time.
Can I try and like touch this stuff?
Yeah, you touch it. It doesn't stick to you because you've been to, you know, places where cheerleaders are. Some of them do wear like, you know, glitter on their cheeks and such to kind of give them a little sparkle, especially, you know, if they're cheering in the sunlight. This is not that. This stuff feels a little looser. Like it could easily come off your skin, or if you rub your fingers together, it almost seems to like absorb into your skin, not in a bad way, but like, or dissolve with the heat of your hand. You're not 100% sure.
I sniff it.
This is some of it gets in your nose. It's very uncomfortable, but not really a scent that, not really any scent. Yeah. And you actually can see there's a couple of spots. Some people might have put them on their own sticker, on their own lockers just to go, but you see Star City High School Cheer Squad on some of the lockers, and that's actually where you see some of the dust coming from, or some of these stickers, or some of the lockers that have these stickers on them. Yeah.
Okay, well that's weird. Why don't Casey's gonna like get some, I don't know, paper towels from the bathroom and then just try to like collect some of it on them, like
Sure, you absolutely can. Just kind of wrap it up and
give it to someone who knows how to figure out how to do things with things.
okay. All right, you easily do
Katie's
that.
gonna have a little think. Knowing some of the cheerleaders, can I like just like of the ones who've been in my classes, looking at the names on the lockers. I'm assuming there would be names on lockers.
Not on the lockers, no. It's mostly just assigned numbers. This just seemed like some teenagers who wanted to be a little cheeky and slap stickers on so they would know which locker was theirs more immediately.
Okay, cool. But it's only lockers with stickers that have Stardust on them?
And some that don't have the stickers on them, but that's probably from the kind of context clues. Maybe those were some cheerleaders who just didn't put a sticker there.
Do we need to head to the gym now? Just looking at Casey.
I mean, I don't think they're.
You start to hear a bunch of students starting to gather in the gymnasium just outside of the locker room, since this locker room can connect to the gym. So you do start to hear milling about just outside, indicating that students are starting to arrive.
Well, we should check with the others. I mean, we've already missed having attendance taken, so that's sort of happened. But yeah. Although, are all the lockers actually like? Well, because people weren't.
They're
People
like
weren't dressing out for gyms.
big.
Like they're not
yeah.
locked though.
Each of them do have a lock on them, like a student-assigned lock. So they are locked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there are a number, and each lock has a. Actually, my school did this because the locks are usually like bought by students or given to students. Some of them do have names inscribed on the back, actually, so that way students can have an assigned lock in case they lose it and they know who it is. So if you want to look through all of the various locks and try to find the fine print of the last names, if you even know the last names of the cheer squad.
No, I was mostly asking to see if we could look in the lockers to see if there was anything interesting in those.
That unfortunately, no.
Okay. Oh.
You know, if you get like 2 locks and then you swing and then you can whack the other lock and it breaks.
Okay. While you two are figuring that out, we're going to go ahead and cut to meanwhile, Nicholas. Meanwhile, while those two are exploring the locker room, you are actually in the gymnasium with the cheer squad, helping to make sure that you have your placement set. The principal is all for the cheer. She's wearing like a t-shirt that says "Go Owls" with the image of the school mascot, Orion the owl, on the front of it. This principal is, some might say, a little too enthusiastic for school spirit, for some people at least. But as you're meeting up with your cheer squad, you and the guys seemed like all the girls are kind of weirdly huddled and just kind of like meandering next to each other, all dazed. And one of the other guys on the cheer squad, Rick, he comes up to you, he's like, "Hey, is everything all right with Mila and the others? Because yeah, they're acting really weird ever since they had their meeting."
This is this morning, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's really... Do you think they'll be able to do the routine okay?
I don't know.
I guess, I mean, I don't want to throw any of them up, for the tower if they're gonna not be able to keep their balance. Should we talk to the principal maybe? Maybe just not do the cheer part? Or at least we can do the routine, like the minimized routine for us, indicating to you and the other guys. I mean, I'm bringing ideas at night. Well, I'm not even... The captain and vice captain are both dazed.
Yeah.
I'm not even like third on that roster, so I'm kind of...
Let's try talking to the girls first. Maybe
because that went so well this morning.
I don't know.
All right, so do you go up to anyone in particular, or just one of the more random ones?
I would probably still try to talk to Mila again. It's like, hey, so what exactly did you go over in your meeting this morning? Just touch base before we,
Just getting excited for the pep rally. And all of the girl cheerleaders go, hooray! In a creepy, monotone unison. And all the guys take a big step back when they do that, thoroughly freaked out.
Okay. Turns to the principal, like, so let's take a step away from the other cheerleaders. Hey,
Yes, Nicholas. And Principal Aguilar, she's an older Cuban woman, somewhere in like her maybe mid 40s, long kind of curled hair with some gray streaks kind of going into it. But, all pep. And she's like, yes, Nicholas, how can I help you?
well, I'm sure you've noticed that something is going on.
I know, and I'm trying not to freak out that our cheer squad, for most of them, are a little out of commission. Vice Principal Carr kind of looks to, the slightly younger, more calmer of the kind of the principal staff, just kind of like gives a look of like, why are you trying to call me out by name? She goes, but Nicholas, we need to have, if you can talk to them, we kind of need them all pepped up for the pep rally. Woo!
Yeah,
I'm running on a low thread here for today's pep rally, okay? Because the lead dancer for the dance team kind of broke her ankle, so they had to scrounge about for the new lead, so kind of need the cheer squad to cheer. I'm sure you'll do fine. She kind of starts patting you on the shoulders.
Could we maybe switch in order, go later?
She kind of puts her hands on your shoulder. Nicholas, I need you to talk to Mila and make sure that her and all the other girls are fine, because I can't afford to change up the order just because of how we have everything set up for everything in a very particular manner and so last minute. Please make it work, please.
I'll do my best.
Excellent. Okay, here come the students. Go ahead and get ready. And it's so weird, Nick. Once students start to gather, it almost seems like a switch flips in the cheerleader girls, because all of them are like, hooray! Woo! And start to like shake their pom-poms around and start to get all excited like they do whenever someone's entering. And even the guys are like, and Principal Aguilar's like, there we go! See? I knew you could do it, Nicholas. Good job. Okay, we'll start the pep rally soon as we get everyone. Okay. And Luke, you're just outside and you see students starting to mill about. I'm
handing flyers out.
And Luke, you hear the suddenness of all the girl cheerleaders going, wow! Okay! Starting to get all cheery again. Like, and again, there's a unison to this, even more so than what you notice, Nick. You even notice, Nicholas, that some of the girls' partners try to come and greet them real quick, like with concerns for them of like what was going on. But the cheerleaders are like, go sit down, enjoy the pep rally. Like not even acknowledging their partners if they have any, or their friends. This is still so bizarre. Even though they seem like their normal selves, there's still something going on. Katie and Casey, you can hear this going on, and it's when you start to hear the students about that, you hear those very loud woo of chorus of the cheer squad.
Okay, well, either they're better or they're worse.
So Luke's just gonna
If that was
drop a text in the chat and be like, cheerleaders still acting weird and in unison.
There's a bunch of literal stardust in here, but Mira doesn't actually know what it does, so ...
Mira sees you and kind of yells into your phone. It's because I've never seen anything like this. Can they hear me when I say that?
No, but I'll type.
Oh, right, thank you.
She just puts it in quotes with a little
There you
dog emoji.
All right.
Okay.
So what do you all do as the cheerleaders seemingly normal and students are starting to pack up? Do you all get to your positions, get to places to what?
Yeah, we should go out there and see what's going on.
Do I have a book
Yeah.
on possession?
Probably not on you at the moment.
I have an ability.
You do. Okay.
I'd like to reach into my book bag and be like, I wonder if I left that book in there.
And just as, yeah, that's right. You have an ability to have exactly what you need. That's great. Yes. So you find a book, you find a smaller book on possession in your thing.
Oh,
what are you trying
perfect.
to look for?
I'm looking for anything where someone might use a dust substance and a counter to that dust substance for possessing people.
For dust and such, nothing really seems to show up.
These are all rituals.
Yeah,
These take
there's nothing
time.
about dust. Like it doesn't make any sense, especially something that sudden. Ghosts, maybe, but you're not 100% sure. Mira hasn't mentioned anything about ghosts and hasn't seemed to have implied anything about spirits like that. But are you in the gym, kind of looking over this, sitting on one of the?
Yeah, like
bleachers?
he's come
Okay.
in. He's actually leaning up against the edge of the bleachers. He hasn't taken a seat yet. He's
Okay.
currently like reading through this real quick.
So as you're doing that, the principal does actually come on mic, and she's kind of like half clapping and doing the holding a mic thing and clapping as the cheerleaders are going, woo, kind of doing, hey, Star City High School. Well, as you all know, we're getting excited for the pep rally going on here, and the cheerleaders are still going, woo, they have not stopped. And she's like, so, woo! And she keeps getting interrupted every couple of times when she tries to speak. And even Principal Aguilar, this is not a woman who gets, annoyed easily, but it's growing on her. After like the fifth woo interrupting her, she's like, okay, how about we let the cheer squad go ahead and do their thing? And she moves to the side. Nicholas, you, the guys and the girls all the guys at least take the practice starting point. The girls seem to take a completely different point in which they all, unlike, standing in a zigzag kind of line like was rehearsed, they are kind of standing in a half circle facing the students. And you and the guys kind of look at each other confused, and the girls go, hey, okay, Eclipse is here and on the way. Hey, okay, Eclipse is here and on the way. And all of a sudden, there's like this burst of stardust coming out from their bodies, and there's confusion. This is not glitter or anything like that. There's something going on where there's some kind of like entities suddenly surrounding the girls as they just keep going, hey, okay, Eclipse is here and on the way. And the voices seem to get more and more distorted as these puffs of stars and nebulas start to kind of appear above them, around them, with dark red eyes kind of glaring. And Mira goes, oh, that's not good. You might, kind of jumps up in the air. It's like, you might want to take a particular hiding spot so you don't get spotted. I think this is Eclipse. And students, there's starting to be a lot of confusion as to what's going on. Aguilar even is like, we seem to be having a particular light show. And all of a sudden, everyone is like coughing. There's confusion. Everyone is getting dizzy as some of the dust starts to go around. Real quick, I want all of you to roll me a... We're gonna make this a keep your wits about you. As kind of this weird thing is going on, there's a lot of confusion as students are half running, half trying to figure out what's going on as this mysterious smoke is starting to go off. The fire alarms are not going off. There's something weird going on here.
I'll add to that.
This is gonna be a persona roll that you add for keep your wits about you. On a 10, hell yeah.
8.
Okay. Is that an experience point for you, Reason? Luke? Oh,
Two ones. even with that
Oh.
+1, that only makes it a total of 3.
Ouch.
Yeah, I have a 5. So,
5. Okay, so that's 2.
You could
So,
critically fail.
Both of you got an experience point, Luke and Casey. Katie and Nicholas, remind me what you got again?
8.
I got a 10.
Okay, so Katie, with the 10, you can easily set out to do what you need to do, finding some place if you need to, for whatever it is, to not get caught. Nick, you keep getting hit by other teens as they're starting to become a panic zone. You two, there's so much confusion, so much going on. You don't know what to do. This is new. Even though you were told about this is not preparing you. Even possession didn't prepare you for something like, even studying possession didn't prepare you for anything like this. You two are a little discombobulated at the moment and distracted. So, heroes, what do you do?
I'm gonna
duck up-
immediately. Yeah, resin go, man.
So Luke's gonna just, because he's at the edge of the bleachers and he's not on the bleachers, he's ducking out the door.
Okay,
He's freaked.
okay.
He's gonna try to get his breath, get out of the line sight of like the doorway itself, so because I assume it has windows, and
Not
be
in
like,
the gym, no.
oh, okay, and he's just gonna kind of step to the side, away from the doors in case people start running out, and try to like go.
Describe the moment you urge your transformation to happen. Do you say or do anything? What happens when Luke transforms for the very first time?
I think there's this moment of panic that crosses his face, and he feels that fear soaking in, and he kind of latches onto it because there's an excitement in that fear, like the roller coaster about to drop from the top of from its top, and it feels like that for a moment, and as he reaches that crescendo for fear, and like realizes he needs protection, he's kind of almost not quite cowering, but in that position of getting into that
Kind of
squat.
like that, yeah.
And we watch like this scaly like nanite suit of armor just like over him.
Kind of like the nanites for like a lot of superheroes that kind of go
Yeah,
over
yeah,
his
it's-
body. I love that.
Yeah. So we watch them kind of like burst from his chest like an alien, and just all over his body, and it scales.
I love that.
And we catch like all these little nanites running around, and we get the little camera zoom in, and they're little crabs.
I love that.
The little
crabs
crabs.
and fish. I love that.
And the suit is kelp dark green. It evokes fear of the abyss,
Ooh.
and it has small highlights of like, this is like a pattern of green kind of like behind me where it's dark green, and it has some light green bits here and there, but they're very
Cool.
subtle. And we see him kind of come from this crouch, and he's like looking at himself going, superhero!
All right, the rest of you, what do the three of you do?
So Casey's idea was going to be to duck under the bleachers, but like her plan would have been to like go down and then off to the side and then around as one normally goes underneath the bleachers, but she's just so freaked out with everybody freaking out around her, she just sort of like is dropping to, you know, the floor of one of the rows of bleachers and trying to like squeeze under a bench into the underneath part, and yes, just to get someplace that is not here, and that this is not happening. But also, yes, the The dog said that we could help, maybe. So hopefully that's true, but she doesn't know how. So she's just like, I wish I could help. I wish I could help.
Okay, so you don't invoke trying to...
Well, I mean, that is basically her trying to invoke it. She's just flailing because she doesn't know. She hasn't been told how to do anything.
Well, you say, I wish I could help. I wish I could help. So how do you describe how you turn that wish into hoping that you can help?
Well, that is that basically she has put literally all her hopes in the small cosmic dog.
Excellent.
That, because he said that they could help. He just didn't say how specifically at all, but it's fine. It's probably fine.
Okay.
Hopefully it's fine. See, hope.
So what does invoking hope do to help you transform?
So she manages to squeeze through and sort of is tumbling in a forward somersault, the distance, the drop to the floor underneath the bleachers, but then partway there, a thing materializes in her hand that it's sort of like a wand, except it's shaped like a dagger, but it's made out of a single it's made out of a single kind of yellowish crystal, and she just sort of slowly, her fall, goes slow gravity, and then the dagger, and she's just staring at it. It's hopefully, but still kind of alarmed, but then the glow from the dagger just starts to spread over her, sort of like a projection, like if you were using a laser projector on a thing, except it's projecting full color into basically a costume that is it's form-fitting, but there's it's mostly covered, but there are cutouts here and there where most of it is just white, solid white, but then there's cutouts where there's skin underneath, but it's sort of like a blousey yellow fabric that has light gold running through it, it's fiber optic kind of stuff, and it's not a mask exactly, but it covers part of her face, but part of it's open so she can see, but it's has a head thing that's sort of spread out that has things dangling from it, it's scales.
Ooh, that's so cool.
Yes. And then
the weighing scales, correct?
Yes.
That's so cool.
Not like fish scales, but yes. And then
that's why I wanted to double check.
Yeah, and then so the light just swirling around her, making this thing as it goes, and then and then she just lands on her feet, and she's okay, I guess I'll weigh stuff now.
That's so good.
For me.
Katie and Nicholas, do you feel that call to you to transform? Do you feel something pulse inside of you? And if you do you embrace it, and how do you transform?
Well, yes, but I am in a very visible, I am in one of the most visible spots. I can't think of anything to do other than just sort of start backing off and then run away.
Boys' locker room is just right there. No one seems to be running that direction. Everyone is running out the side doors. No one's going towards the locker room.
No one will watch me run in and then a superhero run out. Definitely. It's fine.
Nah. Fictional world. No one sees it.
Okay.
Yeah. I go back to just take off until I'm around the corner, because I was told it's going to be very bright. Watch out, it's
very
really bright.
serious. Yeah.
And then try to sort of brace the pull, feel the feeling of the sort of the steel again, and it's sort of from his feet up, he is engulfed in a red flame, and then it clears, and he has sort of kneeling thread robe. He's got gold, like a lot of like probably impractical for fighting, but he still moves fine. Gold
Anime
accessories.
logic.
Yes. Like the sandals that have straps like up to his knees, and
Like gladiatorial sandals. Yeah.
yes, but the most prominent thing being the what looks essentially like a lion's pelt draped over his shoulders that isn't falling off. It's fine.
That's so cool.
And he'll return. Come back out.
Katie.
Katie is in the bleachers, and the moment things start to go wrong, she like locks in. It is that pre-game sort of moment when the whistle blows, and she just sort of stands up and goes, "We're on," and sprints towards. If there's like an equipment room, she'll like run towards the equipment room and just sort of like swing that door closed, and that feeling of like pre-game jitters kind of like bubbles up in sparks, and sort of that crackle sort of starts to spread across. It sort of starts at her toes, and in this equipment room, there's like all these crates of balls and crash mats and whatever, and she picks up a ball and she tosses it from one hand to the other, and she says, "Game on," and then she kicks it. And as she kicks the ball, there is a crash of lightning as her foot hits the ball, and that lightning spreads up her legs, and wherever that lightning touches, turns basically to like this sort of Tron-esque Spartan armor that sort of is very sort of leg-centered, very like heavy greaves, segmented skirt, like strong, very like gender neutral, like muscle plate with like, instead of it being segmented out as muscle plate, it's like got Tron lines of like sparkling.
Oh, that's so cool.
Crackling fire. And like the sort of the very Spartan-esque mask comes on, but where there would be like that gap for the face, it's sort of more like that very classic sort of Greek theater mask. And as she sort of turns and shifts, that theater mask sort of flops from that happy, sad kind of way of like, so she's got that duality of whatever she's thinking or feeling, it is immediately like on the mask.
I love that.
So, yeah. She will just like burst out through the door and it'll be like lightning.
All right. And Luke, you hear that from the outside, because the room is probably very close to you, so you hear that. All of you hear that, and all of you see each other as heroes, and some students like, "What the fuck?" as they keep running. Even Haley's
That's
like,
right.
"What?"
Out of here.
You see your own sister,
That
Katie,
way.
just go, "What?" as she keeps running, just like confused, like, "What is happening?" This is a very wild first pep rally for your younger sister, just saying. And when you all come back into the gym or make yourselves seen again after doing this, the gym is a lot more empty now, and the cheerleaders, now these star things, creatures, are also mimicking kind of the motions of the cheer, but their voices are a lot more discordant. "Hey ho, let's go, Eclipse is here." I forgot the cheer I said, but that's basically I forgot, I totally blanked on what I said. Anyway, but that they are repeating the same cheer over and over, and there's a pause when they realize the four of you, and then they split and they all start to head in your direction. What are you all doing?
Running in, babe.
Attack of the cheerleaders. What we doing? All right, so you're running in. What do you do specifically, Katie?
I'm gonna kick one of them.
All right, so that sounds like a cash roll. Go ahead and roll for me. So this is going to be your
Sure as
roll,
hell
physical.
is. Beautiful. I have metal Spartan dice to roll with, so let's do it.
Yeah, so your hero that not yet spoken out, but your hero name is Spartan.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. It's not in
Spartan, that's
character
right.
yet, so it's all good.
That is plus my physical. That is a 10
And then you also get a +1 because technically because of
my fancy
Mira.
feat. So that's 11.
and Mira. Do you have another bonus? Because Mira is why you got the +1.
So that's a 12.
It's a
No,
12
that'll be an
total?
11. So mirrors,
Oh, it would be 11. Okay.
mirrors would make the 11. Yeah.
Okay, so as a 10, for Clash, let's see. So you'll be doing equal damage compared to your weapon or what your physical stat is, and any other things that you have. You also get an extra effect, so you can either take +1 forward or give 1 forward to another hero, so that means that they can use that for their next roll. You can inflict an extra bit of harm, take less harm, force the enemy where you want, or force them to drop something they are holding. The only thing they're really holding are their pom-poms. But what do you also want to accomplish?
So the stack of my abilities when this sort of happens, my kicks are forceful, so they're automatically pushed back. But I also am covered in a static barrier. So whenever I do damage, it's also another +1 because there's lightning damage as well.
Jesus. Okay.
So there is that big kick that started the transformation carries through as she like sort of jumps up and does like this amazing kind of like soccer sort of like big in the air FIFA sort of swipe down onto this girl.
Okay.
Poor child. And
She's
there's like this
senior,
big
it's
crack
fine.
of electricity.
All right.
She's older than me. I can do what I like.
How much damage do you do?
That would be 3, and she will be pushed back. And the additional effect that I want to do is to give a +1 to whoever is next to act.
So there's no initiative
by basically
ordering?
just being in the fray.
Okay, so whoever goes next, you're gonna give it. Okay,
Yeah.
so here's what happens, because you said you did 3 damage.
Yep.
Okay, so when you did that and you kicked, you hit the cheerleader or the host, or were you just aiming for the cheerleader?
The whatever is.
Okay, so what
scary.
happened, it was kind of enveloping her anyway. So what happens is when you run and kick her, oh, we lost someone. Oh, crap. Hi, we're back. Sorry about that. You know, the servers that we are using to allow us to see and hear each other decided to go kaput. It's all fine, though. All right, so let's get right back into it. So you just kicked the cheerleader, Spartan. So when you did so, and that electricity kind of volted through you, and you throw her backwards, when you did so, the impact hit like a truck, essentially, it almost looks like, but she hits one of like the soft pads against the wall, and you actually see the creature that was around her goes, ow! And it dissipates. You have destroyed that entity, and the cheerleader is no longer surrounded by that. Right now, she's a little out of it, but she seems a lot more like, oh, what happened kind of out of it. So congratulations, you knocked out one of them. There's about 6 more. What are the rest of you doing? Who wants to go next?
Luke is gonna come in and he's gonna be like, everyone, attack the anomalies, not the cheerleaders.
And you're doing this with your mind? Is that
Yep,
what you're doing?
this is telepathy. Yeah.
Yep. So all of you suddenly can hear what does it sound like when you use telepathy? Do you just sound like your regular self or something a little different?
No, it just sounds like me.
Okay, so all of you
It's-
can suddenly hear Luke's voice inside your heads saying this.
It's okay. It's telepathy.
Are,
He comes in.
Oh man.
what are you trying to accomplish? Is that all you just telling them to like, oh, sorry, I totally forgot about something about this game, is because you took an action, Spartan, an action is done against you. So when you did that, where you kick the cheer, all of a sudden you also feel a whack on your back. It's not a lot, it's just 1 damage. These are not particularly strong, but you feel something hit you in the back as you see a cheerleader kind of did a kick to your back. Now you said you have a static barrier. Can you remind me what that does again?
Ooh, I can.
Because it just
so
dealt
when
1 damage to you. Just a handful.
damage, it does 1, and then when I take damage, it also shocks back.
Okay, so the cheerleader just took 1 damage from hitting you, basically.
Yes. Cause 1 damage back to anything that hits me.
Excellent. Okay, so when she does that, she's like, "Ugh!" And that's kind of a combine her and this discordant voice kind of creature. So that's what happened. Okay, and then Dread, as your hero name, Dread. Yeah. Were you trying to, do something more specific, or just giving them that heads up?
It sounds like you're trying to do we can do this together, like.
Yeah. This is
okay.
We can do this together. Pay attention. It's these are the people you want to attack, not these people.
So it's one particular character that you can help. So is there anyone that you give a more direct?
The next closest person to these entities.
The closest person to the entities is going to be Katie. So is that like, it's kind of everyone hears it, but it's like heavily emphasized to Katie. Is that right?
Well, Katie's the one that just attacked, right?
And did some damage.
Okay,
yes.
so they're the closest. Who's the next closest then?
Probably Nicholas. Casey is not like run up to them.
Yeah, Nick is then the next closest, and so.
Okay, so then
Nick.
Let's see here. So it sounds like you're doing it sounds like you're doing a you can do this kind of roll. So go ahead and roll for me with emotional. So 2d6 plus your emotional.
Oh, which is nothing. Cool. 9.
9. Okay, and then what is your relationship? What is Luke's relationship to Nicholas? Something we didn't really talk about is relationships are a big mechanic part, and teamwork is a big mechanic in this particular system. So we can do this together. Encourages that kind of teamwork. So
they're cooperational.
And it sounds like actually, Katie, because you did that actually with your +1 to whoever was going to do an action next, would that apply then to Dread? Spartan, would your +1 to the next person go to Dread?
Yes, of course it can.
Okay, so then you're not. You said you rolled a 9.
9 is a yep.
So that becomes a 10 then. Actually, it would have been a 10 because you had the +1 from Mira.
Right, from Mira, and then 11.
So it's still a 10. So what is the relationship type that you have with Nicholas?
Oh, it's cooperative.
Okay, so Nicholas, you gain a +1 to your next roll, and you, Dread, get to add a point to your power pool in particular.
Interesting. 1 point.
All right. And then after that, an action is going to be taken. One of the cheerleaders, probably one of them is going to see you. No, you're a little far, so it's probably going to act and actually attack Katie again. It's probably going to be the same one who thought, that one shock wasn't enough, and get shocked again, and you're going to take another point of damage, Katie. Okay, Harmony and Regulus, what are you two doing? And remember that you also have +1s to whatever you roll because of Mira.
I did not write down, give myself any specific combat abilities, so I'm gonna do what I can, which is what I was planning on doing anyway. So because they were chanting, they were cheering. They're not doing that anymore, but I'm still going to kind of run around, I guess, behind where they are, and I didn't push my push to talk. Start like yelling to get their attention.
Okay.
And I'm coming behind them, and I'm yelling at their attention, like, "Hey, this isn't the routine. You can do the actual routine." And I'm going to use my all eyes on me ability.
Okay, what does that do?
Says you demand attention from your target with your grand presence through a charm, fear, any number of other ways. Make a convince someone roll with plus persona. Enthralled targets have no restrictions on what they will do.
Okay, does that have it just says target, so there's like no limit, or is it a single?
It just says enthralled targets with the S. It doesn't have a limit.
Okay, so go ahead and give me that roll that you need.
Can someone roll? It's like with Persona, like I use that instead of the
emotional. Yep.
That's really sad because my emotional is better, but that's fine. Well, I have a +1 from Mira, and I have another +1 from just right now, right before my turn. From Dread.
Not from. No, Dread was helping.
That's right.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Well,
no. Yes. From Dread.
Yeah,
Yes.
no.
Yes,
either
yes.
way, it's still
Sorry.
It's the difference between a 10 or 11, so it doesn't really matter. I just want to
Okay.
keep track of it.
Okay. So then, you've garnered their attention. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and they're actually going to start heading your direction, and one of them is going to go ahead and hit you, Nick. So kind of like do kind of a couple of backflips, and one of them is going to be kind of like, you know, those down kicks right on your head to kind of hit you. So you're going to take a point of damage.
Well, that's fine.
All right, Harmony.
So I'm looking at the descriptions of various abilities and stuff, and so this is like whatever's going on with each of them is a separate thing for each one. It's not just one villain entity, or
Kind of looking like that.
okay. Then yeah. Casey's gonna do a we can do this together. Aiming at Katie. The idea, I'm gonna do the supernatural intervention one, but basically she's just
Okay.
like pointing her, you know, dagger wand at Katie. It's like, yes, kicking is good. You're so good at that. You could do that better, probably. I believe in you. And then, you know, just like a yellow beam shoots out of it and hopefully does something useful.
Okay, so go ahead
Hopefully
and
being the
roll.
outwarded word.
Go ahead and roll for supernatural intervention, which is going to be your mystical stat, which I assume is going to be pretty good for you.
Indeed. Oh, wow, that's so rude.
Oh, no.
I got snake eyes.
Oh.
It's still a 5, like stacking all the bonuses, but that's not enough.
Yeah. So what
I'm
is
sorry,
your-
I hate you now.
Yeah, it's
So
it's
what is
bad.
your relationship type?
With Katie, it's cooperative.
So
Ooh. So
Okay.
yes, we're I don't
So
know how much
if you
more
didn't-
danger we can be in, but
if you didn't already have a point, if you didn't already have
No, I
something in
didn't.
your power pool, it's gone. And doing this, Katie, whatever that was she shot at you, you're thinking back to how weird she was being in the gym, in the locker room. Whatever brief trust that you may have grown, that is gone. Your relationship is broken. So for those at home, a broken relationship is not good in this situation, because it does actually have a negative effect on you guys. Hold on, let me double check. Hold on.
-1 to persona rolls when that person is around, and -2 to emotional rolls with them.
Yep. So that's what's
And you've
gonna
also
happen.
put us both in danger.
Yeah. In going with that, Katie, you are going to get hit again. Again, this cheerleader has not learned its lesson. And actually, when it kicks you a third time, again, take another point, but it goes, and she falls to the ground, and the entity, once again, disappears. These things only have 3 health, y'all. Just letting you know.
Yeah. Katie's gonna like sort of stumble a sec and be like, "What was that? What? What? were you-"
Sorry, I don't
Like-
know. I don't have an
Don't do it
instruction.
again!
All right,
Didn't you read the manual?
I don't have a manual.
What do you do, Spartan? Or whoever wants to go. Whoever wants to go, what do you do? Again, there's no strict order for this. So whoever has an idea, let me know. And do it.
Luke wants to manifest a weapon of some sort.
Do you have an ability that lets you do that? Because that is
don't
very
think so.
specific, where you
No.
need to be able to have something that has a weapon
So
tag.
would that be part of
unfortunately.
Would that be part of like moves?
Yeah, that would have to have been a move that you would have had to select. Unfortunately, they're
Cool.
very specific about that
guess-
kind of thing. You can keep doing things like
I guess I'm seeing Kat-chan getting beaten up over here, and it's time to step in and protect someone.
You're
So I'm gonna start body blocking for them.
Okay, so go ahead and roll a protect someone. That's going to be a persona roll.
Yep. I got a +1. That's not super bad. Let's see. Yeah, make sure it was a +1. So that's, and then the one from Mira. So that's 9.
9, that's good. So you get to choose an option from the list. So you can either redirect an attack to yourself, have the damage of the attack, put the attacker in a bad position, giving an ally a +1 forward against the attack, or deal damage back to the attacker equal to your physical rating. You can't really, I'm going to tell you right now, you can't really have the damage because these things are only dealing 1 damage.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put the attacker in a bad position, giving a +1 forward against the next attack against it.
Okay, perfect. And then in retaliation for that, it's actually going to go for you, since you are right there. So you're going to take a point of damage from your HP. Okay, who wants to go next?
Not out all at once.
I'm checking some stuff. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yep, Katie can do just fine. Katie, like, seeing Dread come in basically at her back, it's like on the 6. We've got water and electricity, 2 things you probably should not be putting side by side. But we're in this together.
Okay, I'm throwing water around. It's conductive.
All the fear.
You just like got a water bottle and you just like Gatorade spraying somebody down to make them more conductive for me.
I pull it out of the infinite pocket that is one of my scales, and just
Anyway,
across
seeing you
one
like
of these.
step in, seeing you step in and like take that hit, I'm gonna be like, nice one, and I'm gonna like duck down, and like as we sort of go for like this next kick, like the eyes sort of gonna catch up in the bleachers where Harmony is, and there's gonna be like the mask is gonna shift just for a moment to like a deep frown, and then it's gonna flick back into like locked in I'm on it mode, and that's gonna like spin into like a sweep the leg to take out one of these cheerleaders. We're going for a clash roll.
Yes.
Honey, that's a 12.
Hey, excellent. All right. So, with the 12, you can also choose an enhanced effect instead of what you would get with a 10+. So those are all magical heroes get a +1 forward. You suffer no damage, inflict double damage, or force the enemy to flee. So that's an option you could choose.
Do we think it's thematic in this moment where we're all united? Like we've all sort of rushed into the scene. Eclipse was not expecting us all to be here. That this show of force where we just immediately take out 3 of their guys and we've got each other's back is enough to make them want to flee.
When it says the enemy, is it like all of them or just the one?
Or just the one, yeah. Is the enemy here Eclipse, or is it just these cheerleaders?
It is this entity. You know what? I like that a lot. That's very nice thematically. So, what does it look like when you force the enemy to flee?
I reckon it's that moment, like, where Dread is at Spartan's back. Spartan goes for that big kick, Regulus is there across the way, sort of looking this very large, metallic, intimidating figure, with Harmony up in the stands, pointing that wand down. And it's sort of this moment of, while we may not all be on the same page with each other, there's this feeling of, oh, we are definitely going to come out on top. So, like, you better run if you want to live.
Okay. And so with that, with doing that, and when your static barrier gets nearby, something that I completely forgot, but this was going on in my head, but I forgot to say it out loud because, you know, it's always fun when you don't speak your mind thoughts aloud. Okay. Is that the entities were looking like they were trying to form something in unison, because it makes sense. All of them were talking in unison and being all weird in unison. And with that clash and you getting closer, this thing is like, okay, this one, all of you, and there's like this of nebulous stardust that kind of falls on you, almost like snow, but it disappears almost immediately. It covers mostly Dread, Regulus, and Spartan, since you three are right there in the middle of it all. And just as soon as it hits your various heroic forms, it kind of dissipates. And just briefly, all of you hear, he's here somewhere, and it dissipates. It falls quiet, and Mira kind of pops his head from behind a bleacher and goes, "Oh, well, good news, bad news. Good news, you beat the thing. Bad news, that wasn't Eclipse. Just so you know."
Great. What's Eclipse?
Wait, did you say it wasn't or it was?
That definitely wasn't Eclipse. I can tell you that with a lot of confidence. So, but you beat it.
Yeah.
And hey, your heroes
Yes!
look great.
Yes! And like Katie just like
Why don't
starts
I
like sort of
take it
jumping
off?
around and running.
Oh, you just got to, will yourselves into wanting to become yourselves. It's sort of
Oh.
like drawing the power within, sort of thing.
I kind of look over the cheerleaders that are here because I don't want to.
All of them are all of them had fallen unconscious.
Okay. Well,
Is
then.
there anyone else in here other than unconscious cheerleaders and the
They
four
all
of
ran.
us?
They all fled.
Okay. Well then.
Why don't
yeah,
we get the
take
girls back to the locker room and then we can change back?
I
Like,
was
get
gonna
them to
just
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
say now.
I will get them back to stay back.
What? It's just a locker room. I can help carry people.
All right, we're gonna
I'll
fast
just see-
forward a little. We're gonna
Yeah.
fast forward a little bit. So it sounds like you're gonna get the cheerleader somewhere safe.
Yeah.
Regulus, are you all still in your hero forms? Have you changed back?
I was gonna just immediately change back and check on them because they're my friends.
It's super easy for you to you thinking,
Yeah.
I want to be Nicholas again, and then boom, you are once again Nicholas.
And he's
Unfortunately, in just as flashy a fashion.
Yeah.
Like, all of you can now officially see your transformations are super obvious. Like, they can be seen. Like Mira said to run and transform, but now you can see why when you see Nicholas transform back into himself. You all would stand out so badly.
I'm gonna pop into the boys' locker room and transform back.
Easy to do.
And I think as like the crabs descend on to like one scale, and it's just a scale on a pendant. Like an actual
Okay.
like fish scale.
Sure.
It's bigger than it should be.
Okay, I love that.
So
Take
Harmony was going to hang on to it for a little while because they are distracted, like, by having a second to just actually, look at themselves and realize that they don't super look or feel like themselves, or at least they feel like someone else now. And it's just sort of having a moment dealing with that, but then it's like, let's have that go away and then I can process that later, right? to undo things. And then Casey will like try to help, as herself. Mostly just it's sort of a constant stream of abject apologies to Spartan / Katie. It's like, I'm so sorry. It's the first time I did anything, and I didn't know what was going on, and I definitely didn't dream about this, and it was super weird. And I'm sorry, and I'll just aim it at bad people later. And maybe there's a manual. I'll ask Mira, and I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I don't know, Katie's still, she'll remain as Spartan, and I feel like there's some kind of, voice modulation over when she talks, it sounds quite tinny coming from behind that mask.
Hell yeah.
And she'll be like, look, just don't do it again. And she'll stay sort of as Spartan and turn around, and she had previously been sort of doing a little jog backwards and forwards because she's a little faster now. She's can jump a little higher, and as she goes to pick up that first cheerleader to help them out, she'll drop it, detransform, and carry it through.
Okay. So you get the cheerleaders somewhere safe. The cheerleaders eventually come back to, and what happened was the talk of the school, especially when a couple of students go, yeah, I could have sworn that I heard some fighting over there. Yeah, I took a total look inside just real quick because I was really worried that someone was in there, and I saw these really weird people fighting. I don't know what was going on, but they were kind of cool. Yeah, that one person with all the lightning around them, that was terrifying, but so cool. Yeah, I saw so there's a lot of words going around about your hero forms and what happened at the school. And all of you are now thinking, well, crap. Well, I guess
Gotta get to the call club.
I guess it's the thing now, yeah. So that's kind of where your heroes are going to end for now as you process what happened here at school, and we'll get to it for next session. But for real quick, the camera shifts once again, lifting from Star City High School. And looking down on Star City itself, seated on the edge of one of the many tall skyscrapers, is a man. The sun makes his dark skin glow a warmth that does not meet his stark white eyes. Solid white eyes. Stark white locks kind of tied into a half ponytail style. And the rest of his hair kind of reaches just past his shoulders. He wears a very pristine white with trims of green coat as he just stares with a glower down at the tiny ant-sized people that walk below him. A small orb floats beside him and seems to bounce as it whispers to him. He cocks his head to the side, and there's a smile as he stands and stretches. So, once again, they show themselves. Now this will be a fun game. Let's see how well these little stars play. And the scene blackens, as technically that is the end of our episode today. Now, before we officially end, there is one more little bit of this game that we do need to complete before we officially end, which is our end of session questions that is part of this game. So players, let's get ready to ask some questions here, or answer some questions. So firstly, did we learn something new and important about the larger threat to the world?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
We learned there
Yeah.
is one.
That it exists.
Yes. Did you save someone from the machinations of the evil forces at play?
Yes.
Technically.
Yes.
Technically.
Did you learn something new and important about one of the magical heroes?
Casey sucks.
We learned.
Yeah. Yeah.
No!
That Nick and Kat are awesome, and that I can't do anything other than telepathy.
Look,
Like
Katie is
Aquaman.
only good at one thing, okay? Her whole
Kicking is
gig is
super
one
applicable.
thing.
We learned that we're
So many
three
problems to
supports
solve.
all cheering on our one person who can kick.
Shotgun legs.
All right, next question.
Oh, no.
Did we learn something new and important about the source of the hero's powers?
Yeah, it's a puppy.
Yeah,
I feel like yes.
kind of, I guess.
And did we develop new friendships or deepen existing ones?
Well, we broke some.
I was gonna say, Katie and Casey did the opposite of that. Does that count?
Sure. I
We
mean,
were doing so well.
I
Develop
know.
doesn't mean good.
yeah.
Uh,
And technically, some of you are properly meeting for the first time to
Yeah.
potentially become
Yeah.
friends. So, would we say that that kind of counts, or
Yeah.
okay?
I think so.
Well, the good news is because you said yes to at least 3 or more questions, everyone is going to get 2 XP for our end of sessions question. So, hurrah, hurrah. All right. Well, great job, heroes. We're going to go ahead and do some quick player outros before we end again. My name is Gabby. I use he, they pronouns. I was the game master for this and the future episodes of Zodiac Superstars. I use he, they pronouns. I am also a voice actor in my spare time when I am not doing this. Lots and lots of fun. Let's go ahead and let our players kind of do their outros and maybe plug in a few things that they can talk about.
Okay, I'm Jay. I also use he and they pronouns. I do art stuff in various places. On Twitter, it's Jay with 2 I's and TXT, and there's links to other places from there. Think about doing some other stuff, so I guess just watch over there. Take a peek at my last 5 tweets. You can figure out what I'm thinking about doing.
Yeah.
I'm Pandora Beatrix. She, her. I am. I also do a fair amount of voice acting. I can be heard most often on the Modus Files, Fallout 76 audio drama. Also, I do other actual plays. I'm in Marvel Multiverse one, Would Be Heroes, that goes on. I think it's Mondays. We're mostly playing. And yeah, I can be found at Pandora Beatrix on Blue Sky if you want to poke socials at me.
Reason, it's you.
Is it me?
Yep.
No, it's not me. I'm just gonna let everyone else. I was gonna go last. All right, it's me.
There.
So I'm Reason the Owlbear. You can find me here on Twitch. You can also find me at Reason360 over at Twitter. And when I'm not on here, occasionally I play for Into the Darkness and Shadow of Nox when they have casting calls. So find me everywhere.
And last but not least, I have been Sarah Jacqueline, she, her. When I'm not doing fun stuff like this, I'm also voice acting, and you can find me over on Instagram at saysJacquelineVO.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching tonight's episode. Please make sure you also check us out next Thursday, same time, 6:30 Pacific Daylight Time, 9:30 Eastern Daylight Time. I actually remembered to do it the correct way this time. We will see you next Thursday, and reach for the stars. Later, y'all.